into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, I tune into my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning espresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Do you realize how much we missed you since Friday? We actually couldn't wait. I mean, I actually been awake since Friday to be here with you. We are 5 months into the year already. And do you feel that? There's a rhythm, there's an energy throughout the entire year, and we want to keep that going for you. You know
Absolutely. I'm loving this energy for the Monday morning. A very good morning to you, South Africa. My name is Jamie Lee Domberg, reporting live for duty. As you can see, Mr. Carl Wace is also here on this Feel Good Monday. Yes, we are 5 months into 2021, but that doesn't mean that we need to wait for New Year's to make a change. Because you know when 2021 came, people was like, New Year,
yes.
New me.
Yes, people, I called it 2020 fun. I did, and it's still fun. I mean, 5 months in. And I think it's so important that you have some tips to, stay mentally strong. I know it can be tough. It's kind of like the hump day of the entire year, 5 months in, but don't worry, we've got you covered. We're going to give you some tips to make sure that you are strong, so you can achieve your goals, and how to get a really good night's rest, which is very, very important to conquer your day, and how physical activity has a fundamental impact on both your body and your mind. Because I know with you, I watch Jamie Lee all the time in that garage doing the exercise tips, and I think that's the best thing ever, so I'm going to try my best to do that as well. In fact, I'm going to go lunge out of here.
Go ahead. Yes.
Two, because I want to be mentally strong as well, man.
You go ahead, Mr. Carl Wasey, but we do get to connect with you on our social media, and we're asking you this morning, name 3 ways you stay mentally fit. I think it's very important that you have a little bit of an outlet, especially with our busy schedule, so do connect with us, Expresso Morning Show, SABC3. I think for me, ways that I just stay mentally fit, like Mr. Carl Wasey said, is definitely physical activity, making sure that I'm active every single day. I think spending time with the Bible is also something that motivates me to just stay mentally fit as well, but then also just surrounding myself with good people, being in the mountains, being Mrs. Nature Girl herself. But do let us know, maybe we can get some inspiration from you on this Monday morning. Expresso Morning Show, SABC3, where it's at. We're going to be keeping you entertained, informed for the next 3 hours. But like Mr. Carl Wasey said, we are getting on with the order of the day. Here is those news headlines.
I like how you always call me Mr. Carl Wasey, but the Mr. has some of those news headlines for you right now, and we start off with some national news. Now, health experts urgently call on South Africans to continue wearing their masks, maintain social distance, wash their hands regularly, and steer clear of places with poor ventilation full of people. South Africa has reached the 55,000 mark for deaths due to COVID-19. However, it's estimated that 150,000 more people have died from the virus in SA than the figure indicates. SA's COVID-19 infection rate has risen sharply in the past 2 weeks, and cases in Gauteng have risen by 60% in the past week. A metro bus strike is on the cards for today, a move that will affect thousands of Johannesburg commuters. It's believed the members of the Democratic Municipal and Allied Workers Union of SA is to stage a picket at Gandhi Square in Johannesburg from 10 a.m. this morning. This comes after both the union and the employer deadlocked during salary negotiations last week. The union has demanded a salary increase of 18%. It's estimated that some 30,000 commuters use the service daily. Moving over to international news, South Sudan's President Salva Kiir has dissolved parliament, a long-awaited step to pave the way for the appointment of lawmakers from former warring parties in the country. The move was in line with a peace deal signed to end a civil war that began in 2013. The deal that ended the civil war stipulates that parliament must be expanded from 400 members to 550 and must include members from all parties to the peace accord. Despite the peace deal, violence is still raging in parts of the country. Now, visitors to Dracula's castle are being jabbed with needles rather than fangs after a COVID-19 vaccine center has been set up at the Transylvanian site. Medics with fang stickers on their scrubs are offering Pfizer shots to everyone who visits the 14th century Bran Castle in central Romania. It's part of a government drive to encourage more Romanians to take the jab. During every week in May, anyone can turn up to receive a jab, and they also receive free entry to the castle's exhibit of 52 medieval torture instruments, believe it or not. And next, how a tech-wise young shopper got carried away. Now, Noah, a tech-wise 4-year-old from New York, loves SpongeBob a lot. In fact, he loves it so much that he decided to pop on Amazon for a spot of retail therapy. Noah went to his mom's Amazon account unsupervised and purchased, hear this, almost $2,620. That's around 37,000 Rand worth of SpongeBob popsicles. Little did his mother, Jennifer Bryant, know that 51 cases of SpongeBob ice lollies, 918 of them to be exact, had been dispatched free of charge. And as adorable as this particular story is, Noah's mom, who is a social work student at New York University, simply couldn't afford this. She contacted Amazon, who initially told her that they wouldn't take back the ice lollies, leaving the social work student stuck with the bill. But fortunately, the retail giant has since found a solution, and thankfully the SpongeBob saga has a happy ending. A fundraiser that was set up to help the desperate mom to pay for the ice lollies has now already netted more than $14,000. That's around 197,000 Rand, with contributions flowing in from across the globe. And one thing's one thing's for sure for Noah. Noah's going to enjoy his SpongeBob lollies for quite a while. Now that's a wrap of your news headlines for now. Let's jump on to that sport.
Insurance specifically designed for fearless women.
Let's take a look at the sporting action for the day. The South African national sevens team returned to action in the Rugby Africa Solidarity Sevens camp, and that was at the Markota Stadium in Stellenbosch. African opponents Uganda, Kenya and Zimbabwe featured in the tournament. The Blitzboks played with two teams this weekend. SA1, captained by Siviwe Soizwapi, won all their matches, while SA2, led by Impi Fisser, lost only one fixture against Kenya in a close defeat on Saturday. SA1 beat Kenya 31-7 in the first and second place playoff yesterday. The Springbok Sevens team will be in Solidarity Sevens camp action, and that'll be this weekend. Now, staying with rugby of a different sort, the table-topping Sharks recorded a 34-26 victory over the Lions in their Round 2 Pro 14 Rainbow Cup clash in Durban. That was on Saturday. Lokanya Am's side scored 4 tries in the first 60 minutes to seal the well-deserved win. In the second fixture, the Bulls overcame the Stormers 20-16 at the Cape Town Stadium. The Sharks remain at the top of the log with 10 points, 2 points more than the Bulls with 8 points. The Stormers are third with 2 points, and the Lions sit at the bottom of the table. That's with just 1 point. I know you want some more rugby, so here it is. The South African Women's Premier Division got off to an exciting start, and that was on Saturday with defending champions Western Province beating Boerlands Women 38-6 at the Cape Town Stadium. In other results, Border Ladies secured a 17-11 home victory in East London over the Blue Bulls Women, and EP Queens registered a 13-5 win over Sharks Women in Durban. Now, Cape Peninsula University of Technology beat Walter Sisulu University 30-25 in an extra-time win at the Varsity Shield to claim the title at Tuck Stadium in Pretoria. The last gasp try by winger Nathan Nkutu and flyer half Fagan Lee Snyders added the conversion as the Techies successfully defended their 2019 title after last year's tournament was cancelled due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Moving abroad, Reds captain James O'Connor scored the match-winning try as his side beat the Brumbies 19-16 to be crowned Super Rugby AU champions in Brisbane on Saturday. This is the second Super Rugby title for the Reds. In the Super Rugby at Tororua, the Crusaders overcame the 2 yellow cards of Cody Taylor and Sevu Rees to defend their Super Rugby title after beating the Chiefs 24-13 in Christchurch. Now, after all that rugby, time to jump into some football. Takuma Cha Madzivandila won the Nedbank Cup title after edging Chipper United 1-0 at the Free State Stadium on Saturday evening. It was an evening filled with tears and cheers for the Limpopo side, who made history winning their first ever major trophy. The 27th minute goal, and this is by Ndlondo, secured the cup win for TTM. On to motorsport, reigning Formula 1 world champion Lewis Hamilton won the Spanish Grand Prix from pole position ahead of the Red Bulls Max Verstappen and his Mercedes teammate Valtteri Bottas. This was the 7-time champion's 3rd win in 4 races and his 98th career win. Hamilton extends his lead at the top of the championship standings to 14 points. That's a wrap of your sporting action for now. It's time to take a look at some of your sunrise pictures as well as the weather. Here's Jamie Lee.
Thank you so much, Carl Wasey, for that update, but also thank you to each and every viewer that takes the time to share their sunrise photos with us. It is such a wonderful way to start the day. Now, of course, we kickstart the week with regular contributor Andrew Harris from Belito, who shared this orange and red glowing skyline with us this morning. If you are in Belito today, you can expect a brilliant and sunny day ahead, reaching a maximum of 25 degrees Celsius. Now, another one coming through from Josh Lean Tyler Naidu also shared this beautiful beautiful view of the ocean and the sun rising in the distance with us. Please do continue to share your sunrise photos with us on the Expresso Facebook page. We really love seeing your parts of the country. And of course, don't forget to share your location with us so we can give you a brief forecast for the day ahead too. Now, while we do enjoy experiencing a sunrise from your part of South Africa, we do have some international viewers tuning in on both YouTube and the Africa channel in the USA. And this morning, we report on the weather from Seattle, Washington. Seattle is a seaport city on the west coast of the United States. And fun fact is that Seattle has a noteworthy musical history. The thriving jazz scene between 1918 and 1951 nurtured the early careers of some big names, Ray Charles and Quincy Jones. One of Seattle's most noteworthy landmarks is the Space Needle. It is an observation tower standing at 184 meters high. Now, views from this tower include the Seattle downtown skyline, surrounding mountains and Elliott Bay. 6 parachutists have leaped from the tower since its opening in a sport known as base jumping. Now, this activity is legal only with prior authorization. 4 of them were part of an authorized promotion in 1996, and the other 2 were arrested. Now, if you are in the city of Seattle today, you can expect times of sun and clouds reaching a maximum of 18 degrees Celsius. In other news as well, authorities in the Overberg region of the Western Cape are now concentrating their efforts on humanitarian relief for communities who were affected by the intense storms and heavy rainfall which several towns in the area experienced last week. The storm brought continued rainfall and battered some areas in the Cape Winelands and Overberg. At least 4 people died in 3 separate flood-related incidents at Bonnievale and near Riviersonderend, and a number of evacuations were also carried out in the area. The intense storms subsided over the weekend, and Overberg District Municipality Fire Chief Reinhard Haldeneys yesterday said things are normalizing in the Overberg. Water levels are dropping, but there are still some road closures, especially secondary roads. He said the focus was now provision of food parcels for the households that were affected by the storm. That is where I leave your weather news. Here's the first look at the temperatures for today. We kick it off with Polokwane. If you're out and about, do expect a low of 8 today, peaking at 24. Umbombela, your range is 12 to 27 today. Pretoria, for you, expect a minimum of 8 and a maximum of 24. Johannesburg, a low of 8, coming through with a high of 21. Mahikeng, 7.26. Klerksdorp, 5.25. Kimberley, for you, there's a minimum of 6 and a maximum of 23. And then Bloemfontein ranges from 3 to 23 today. Richards Bay, 16.25. Pietermaritzburg, 9.25. And then South Africa's playground, Durban, ranges from 16 to 25 today. Mtata, 6.24. East London coming through with a low of 12 and a high of 23. Cradock's minimum temperature is 5 with a maximum of 24. Gqeberha, 13.22. George, 12.20. The mother city, Cape Town, ranges from 13 to 20 today. And then Worcester coming through with a low of 7 and a high of 27. Sutherland, 6.21. And then Uppington, last but definitely not least, coming through with a low of 9, peaking at 28 today. Of course, like I always say, wherever you find yourself on this Monday, make sure it is a feel-good kind of day.
You know, I'm seeing some of the lower temperatures coming through, and you can tell the cooler weather, it's actually settling in. And we're all about grabbing those soft and chunky knits to keep us warm, but there's actually something else that we also enjoy, and that's a great boot. So I want to just invite Jamie Lee in because, you know, when it comes to elevating the look and making sure that she feels a bit warmer, I want to just come sit, have a seat here in my, you know, we both got the grey thing because the skies are looking like the grey color. However, I'm telling you, a boot like this is just, it's going to completely complete the look. I mean, I'm loving the silver, the heels. but I think a boot will be good.
Can I come through with a fun fact? Because I don't know if you know this, but the boots were actually first worn by horseback riders in the 10th century, way back when, and the riding boot has become a firm favorite in our closet, and it's no shock why. I think, you know, if you look at a boot like this, it can go with absolutely anything. If you're having a jeans, if you're having a casual moment, you can play around with it. If you're wearing a dress, or even with what I'm wearing today, which is a very basic knit, a two-piece knit, but it gives you that elevation. And I like what you said. It's very comfortable as well.
Indeed, it's comfortable, it's warm, and I just feel like you need to add a boot. I'm just saying, let's do that.
All I need to my look is to add this, and You still need to make sure that you're dressed appropriately for this cold weather. It's very stylish. Now, this boots is a faux leather upper with a buckle trim and for extra comfort and ease. And it's just beautiful. I like, again, the tones that we're playing with. I like that Robin wants me to pair it with this. What do you think, Mr. Colwaste, in your opinion?
Well, in my opinion, I just think that, I mean, I'm a big fan of boots as well. I think there's a lot of practicality, there's a lot of style to them as well. And I think it's going to be something that is always going to be a winter staple. So I'm saying get on the boots. That's what I'm saying.
Boots with the fur. And
the whole
everybody's looking at her.
She hit the floor.
Yes.
Sorry, you just got me into the winky vibe again. Anyway, so just like that, I just want to take the outfit to a next level. And of course, you can shop for your winter boots. And I hope you will at Woolworths. It's available in-store and online as well as on the app. So can we get the boots on, please?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Put on socks.
I actually want to wear one as well.
Okay, we can
Also
match.
try it. Okay, you stay there.
You make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso. Thank you so much for keeping it locked. It was a big weekend for rugby right across the globe, in fact, but especially here at home as the Blitzboks returned to action. Man, have they had a wait. The Women's Premier Division was broadcast live, which was another massive step forward. Then CPUT were crowned Varsity Shield champions, and deservedly so. And the Reds and Crusaders won their respective Super Rugby titles. Some brilliant rugby on offer this weekend, and sports journalist Gareth Jenkinson joins us via video call to tell us all about it. The Gaza. Good morning, son. How are you doing? What a weekend
Morning,
of
Graham.
rugby, man. What an amazing weekend of rugby. I'm sure you reveled in it.
I definitely did. Like you mentioned, the overseas Super Rugby finals really delivered. I think the Australian final wasn't as good as that All New Zealand final. That was an amazing game. And I'm pretty glad that I managed to call both of those results as well when we spoke on Friday. So I've salvaged some pride there.
Buddy, you wouldn't have been welcomed back if you hadn't, dude. We didn't want to tell you about it, but it was a massive test. Maybe not a massive test for the Springbok Sevens outfit, but just in terms of how long they've had to wait, all of the disappointments of how the last season was cut short, to be back on an international field and playing some pretty strong opposition. Let's take nothing away from our African brothers and sisters, but a great opportunity for Neil Powell to see his men in action again. And man, did they relish it. A clean sweep in the Sevens Solidarity camp up against Kenya, Zimbabwe and Uganda. Wins right across the board. I'm sure Neil Powell is glowing on levels here. He must be so pleased with the output this weekend.
Yeah, I think just most importantly, you know, it's an important warm-up ahead of the Olympics later this year. The Blitzbokke, like you mentioned, they just, you know, the Seven Circuit hasn't been going for a long time. So to see them come back and get a clean sweep of wins was really, really good. And, you know, Kenya's no slouch when it comes to sevens either. So I think it's really important that the sevens got to, you know, brush off the cobwebs and really go for it. And yeah, clean sweep of results is fantastic for them, and it bodes well for a very, very exciting year for the Blitzbokke.
Yeah, man, and we know so much at stake. To get that Olympic gold, I know how much it means to each one of those players, and it's going to be tough. I have a feeling New Zealand are going to be really strong. We know Oz are going to be strong, but in an Olympic year, the USA, I just have this weird feeling that they're going to be the team to beat. But let's bring it back home for the Rainbow Cup, which, again, did not disappoint. I was joking about the fact that we're going to be treated to a derby every weekend now, but with all of the news circulating around the Irish and Lions tour, there seems to be so much more importance on playing for your position. We've seen some young stars being blooded in. Obviously, Fred Zalinger not present over the weekend, which was a massive blow. But let's start with the Sharks up against the Lions, 34-26. This Sharks side is starting to look like the real deal, man.
Yeah, I think you're right. They are looking like the real deal. And just, you know, considering that it's 2 weeks into the competition, I thought it was really interesting to listen to Sean Everett after the game, just saying how important it is in this competition now to get wins every weekend. It's not about rotating your squad and testing players. They are going, you know, helter-skelter. They want to get the results. They want to win the competition. And more importantly, all of the players, I think, know in the back of their mind, with the British and Irish Lions squad announced, you know, they have to fight for a spot in the Springbok team. And I think, you know, the Sharks camp's looking really happy. They're gelling well. They need a bit more time probably for some of those new combinations to lock in. But I think they'll be really, really happy with that result. And, you know, all roads lead to Loftus this coming week. That's going to be a big clash, Sharks Bulls.
Yeah, undoubtedly, man. I think every one of these vitally important. When we look at the Stormers up against the Bulls, the Stormers, you know, trying some new combinations, new man at number 10 who did battle, I think, a little bit with having to take that massive step up. But the Bulls looked strong, maybe not as strong as we've seen them in the past season. But the Stormers, you got to kind of feel for them because so close yet so far away. It's not like they were diabolically bad, just maybe a game of inches in this case.
Yeah, and, you know, we said it on Friday that it was going to be a really attritional battle between the forward packs, and I won't take anything away from the Stormers. I think they got stuck in. It was great to see a youngster like Ivan Roos get man of the match playing against his childhood hero, Dwayne Vermeulen. I think that's really good to see. So they didn't get the result, but I think they'll be pretty happy with, you know, the improvement in performance. And like you mentioned, their young fly-off didn't have the best day. I have watched him play a lot of rugby, you know, over the past 3 years in the what used to be the Vodacom Cup, and I think he's, you know, he's a great fly-off, really thrust into the hot seat there with Cade Wallace out for the rest of the season. And sometimes, you know, your first game's not going to go that well, but you've got to take it on the chin, learn from the mistakes and move forward. I don't think Jordan Dobson will be too critical, considering the amount of changes that they had to make and just considering how competitive their forward pack were. And I'm sure a win in the competition is going to come pretty soon for them.
Yeah, they certainly fought for it. Great to see Women's Premier Division out there as well. Western Province 38-6 over the Boland Damas. Border Ladies beating the Blue Bulls women, and then the Sharks women falling short against the EP Queens. Then just very quickly, your last comment here. Do you feel like we got the best winners in both of our tournaments down under? Crusaders looked every part of the championship winning side. Brilliant matchup there. But I was really excited for the Reds to get that one over the Brumbies. Looking at their trajectory, how they fought to climb to where they are. What did you make of our winners in Super Rugby this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, we don't need to say much about the Crusaders. I called that on Friday, and I wasn't surprised to see them win. And then, yeah, the Reds holding on for that victory, that was fantastic. And, you know, a try in the 86th minute, I think, from James O'Connor, you know, just proving his pedigree and proving that they, you know, they really wanted that title. It's the first time in 10 years that they've won a Super Rugby title. So I think well-deserved and really good rugby down under. It's great to see them really hitting their straps pretty hard.
Yeah, I think James O'Connor a shoe-in for that Wallaby jersey. Stay tuned. Gareth is going to be sticking around. We're going to be talking about football. I especially didn't see the final result of the Arsenal game last night, so I can't wait for him to either gloat or commiserate. I'm ready for a shoulder to cry, my friend, and that's coming from a Spurs supporter. But we'll be talking all things football in just a moment. Don't stray too far.
Well, we are going to speak all about sports. We are connecting with you on our social media platforms, and we asked you this morning, name 3 ways you stay mentally fit. Use it hashtag Expresso Show. Very interested to see what people had to say.
Indeed.
Yes.
I'm interested too.
Why?
Because I think mental fitness is so important though. Eh?
And traveling.
And yes, traveling's
Yes.
great. And Antoinette, we're going to start with you. Antoinette Baxendale. This is a great name. Should be in a movie. Good morning. Prayer. Reading scripture and writing my thoughts and feelings in a journal. Of course, a good night's sleep as well. Great advice right there in one post.
Definitely. David Gummer saying, good morning. A positive mindset is key, but practically it is. Sudoku, laughter, and exercise, that works for me. I hear you.
I like Sudoku. You know, that Sudoku is like one of my favorite things. I like the fact that you mentioned that. Thank you. Moving along too. This is Kabe Mama Musa Maloko. Another great name, should be in a movie. Right, minding my own business. Very important for emotional intelligence. You don't have to be, especially somebody who's on Facebook right now, where all the nonsense goes out there. And then good sleep and praying. Beautiful.
For sure. Top fan as well, Joan Cameron says, taking my dogs walking, breathing in the fresh air, and ending my day with a glass of red wine. Are you doing a slow clap for Joan Cameron?
No, I'm not.
Right
I
now?
wasn't clapping at all. I was just sitting here doing my normal thing. I wasn't clapping at all. Anyway, that sounds good, but we can't wait to hear a couple more of your comments. So give us those 3 mental keys for you to make sure that it's a positive mindset for you to start the week. And we may just be mentioning your movie-worthy name on Expresso a little later.
Only you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. Deep breath, because it was a scintillating weekend of footballing action and high-stakes footballing action at that. Continuing with our weekend sports review, sports journalist, the Gaza, Gareth Jenkinson, is still with us via video call, and he is now joined by fitness enthusiast, and I'm sorry to say Manchester United superstar fan, Andrew Nkaba, who is known as Drew, because we love him and his sneaker game is really strong. So the Nedbank Cup went in favour of TTM. It's finally going to Limpopo, some silverware. Man City also missed out on an opportunity to be crowned the Premier League champions. It's, I think, going to still come pretty soon. But the gents have all the details. Drew, great to connect with you, my friend. Some incredible football. Let's start here at home first. And I'm going to put this to you, Gaza. We were talking about the opportunity for some silverware to return or to go to Limpopo for the first time, but how much, in context of how difficult each one of these teams' seasons have been, this was vital to get the win here, and TTM have done it. They are the Nedbank Cup champions.
Yeah, I think really good to see TTM win the title. I know on Friday I was kind of saying that Chip are, tipped as the favourites, and I think that I said that they were going to win it. So I humbly eat my words. And I think TTM really dominated the game. If you go and watch the stats, there's just so many shots on goal that came from their side of things. So I think at the end of the day, they deserve to win the game. And really, really good to see like Dylan Kerr showing some real emotion. Recently took over as coach there, and he's done fantastically well to come into a team, like you mentioned, that has probably struggled in the DStv Premiership. They're pretty low down there. So to go and get some silverware and book a spot in the Confederation Cup next year is really fantastic. Like you say, silverware for Limpopo and some, African football next year thrown in with their DStv Premiership, duties. They just need to make sure they stay in the top flight now.
Money, my friend, they get money. The broadcast deals, the shot in the arm that this gives a side like that, absolutely massive. Let's bring it back to the PSL, just one game. It was the game in hand for Mamelodi Sundowns. Drew, I want to talk about this match, but there's a far bigger burning question, and I'm asking this of every person who has a sporting mind at all. Of course, they beat TS Galaxy 1-0. We kind of expected that. Do you see Sundowns slipping up? Did they prove to us over the weekend, listen, we're the champions, we'll always be the champions? Their loss was just a blip in the road a couple of weeks back. Do you think there is a chance that Benny McCarthy can chase them down? Are we going to see a new PSL champion this year?
I mean, this is football. Anything is possible in football. Sundowns just need to win 2 games out of the 4 to be crowned champs. And Amazulu need to win all of their games. So that's quite a big task. But like I said, again, this is football, so anything is possible. But I do think that Amazulu can really give Sundowns a run for the money because they've had a really, really great season since Benny's been there.
Yeah, since Benny's been there. Benny is the man. So if there is going to be a slip-up for Masanda Wana, what do you think it's going to be? Which team do you think poses the biggest difficulty in this final game run-in, Gaz?
To be honest, I'd have to take a look at the fixtures. I'm not quite sure who they've got coming up next, but I did think it was good to see that the PSL have pushed out that last week of fixtures just to give the teams that are playing in African football a chance to, prioritize, the African football, in the CAF and just make sure that they're, that they go for gold there. And but you can't forget about the Premiership title either. And I think it was really good that, Sundowns delivered on Sunday, because we spoke about it on Friday. It was a bit of a tough fixture with a date with Al Ahly this coming weekend. So for them to go and get a good 1-0 win, I think was pretty good. And it just shows that, hey, we want both titles. We want the local title, and they want to go for gold in Africa.
And I think the most used word in football this season has been momentum, making sure that you can keep that momentum and that form running into it. So we certainly wish them best on the African platform as well. Let's shift gears now to the English Premier League. Drew is smiling because they beat Aston Villa 3-1. Well done, Manchester United. They seem to be pretty comfortable up there at number 2. But let's start, Gareth, with Leicester City going down 4-2 to the Geordie Army. This Newcastle side, I don't know where Bruce has found it from, but they've found a late season form that's maybe not quite in the clear, but they've pretty much saved themselves this season.
Yeah, very, very strong results. And like you say, this is where you make your money. This is where you have to produce the results, especially if you want to stay in the top flight. I think that was really, really good to see. And just all across the board, I was surprised that, Man City didn't get crowned this weekend. They got denied twice. And it was in their hands as well. So, a little bit disappointing for them. But like you mentioned earlier, they're probably going to lift the title, later this week. And I was just happy to see Arsenal get a win.
On all levels of competition, what Tuchel is doing there is absolutely amazing. Liverpool getting the much-needed win. It almost seems like this is the chase for 7th on the log at the moment. Yeah. Spurs abysmal against Leeds this weekend. It's difficult being a Spurs supporter, man. It really is. It's a difficult job, but I'll have to do it. But I think probably the biggest result for me this weekend was Everton doing the chasing pack a massive favour, beating West Ham United. Do you expect that, Drew?
Not at all. The game of football it's a very intricate thing. I mean, especially with the Premier League, you never expect top flight football to be this insulating. Yeah. It was such a great game, and football, guys, you can never you put your finger on football. Like, you can never put your finger on football.
I'll tell you one thing. You can put your finger on this, that if it's a really important game, Spurs will probably lose it. Buddy, I'm glad that you got the win over the weekend. I'm glad that you had such amazing sport to look into. As Gareth pointed out, we probably will see a Premiership title being handed over later this week, but we're not there just yet. Drew, stick around. He's going to be putting you through your fitness paces in just a moment. But Gareth, have an amazing week, my friend. We'll catch up with you next weekend. And if you are a super fan and want to get on this couch, let us know which teams you support, and we'll dive right in.
Well, you can put your finger on this. If cooking was a sport, we'd definitely take an Olympic gold for this next recipe. Find out why.
Made with love by Clover.
All the moves in the world. When it comes to meals with chicken, there's nothing more delicious than juicy, crispy fried chicken. We can all agree, right? With plenty of recipes on how to fry it, not many of them include the use of milk, which I think is fantastic. And Jenny Morris this morning is here to show us why Clover Fresh milk will take your fried chicken to the next level.
Well, good
Jenny,
morning, darling.
Good morning.
Now, listen, every time I touch this bottle...
You want to go moo.
Now, I want to give you a little splash, about half a cup.
Okay.
So you're going to whisk that up for me.
So this is very interesting, Jenny, because fried chicken with milk as part of the recipe. I've never heard of it.
Well, look, people mostly use buttermilk, but there's nothing. The Italians cook in milk. They do. There's a pork dish that they cook in milk.
Yeah.
There's a dish that they... I think they do a chicken dish with milk, and what they do is they flavor the milk and they steam it. And what's nice about this is, and I'm going to watch this pot, because last week Carl had me so distracted that we had a volcanic eruption of milk all over the stove.
Of course, we're not going to have that today. So what is it about the milk? What is it about the milk that really does elevate it and take it to the next
tenderizes it, it makes it nice and moist. And don't throw this milk away, people. You could just chop some onions and a little bit of potato and add just a little bit of chicken stock and have a nice little chicken soup afterwards. Now, just keep an eye on that. You're going to be in South Africa. Watch this pot for me,
I'm watching.
please.
I've got it. I'm watching.
Are you watching?
I am on
May
there.
I have that, my darling?
There you
So, seeing that you're so good in the kitchen, you always help your mama.
Oh, you know me.
You're my boy. I'm going to put the salt, because we don't want all of that in here. What you're going to do is we're going to flavor the crumb, okay?
Okay.
So you're going to put some pepper.
All right.
And these beautiful
pepper.
spices.
There we go. All of it?
Yeah, pepper. Yeah,
all of
because
it?
we want a little bit of heat. Why not?
Cool.
This has got like a Cajun feel to it for me. So we've got some paprika, a little bit of cayenne pepper, maybe half a cayenne pepper, and some fresh, not fresh rosemary. You can use fresh rosemary. But there's some dried rosemary, and we've got go half there.
I really do like the explosion of spices that you're introducing here.
And then some thyme, or you could use oregano. I'm going to put it all in.
Yeah, nice.
Just give it a good
old
mix. I'm not holding back, sweetheart. I'm just keeping an eye on that pot, because I've now become neurotic. So when you're crumbing, what you want to do is you need to go wet.
Because that's always the tricky part, just getting the right amount, right?
Yes. I don't like my crumb to be too much crumb and not enough chicken or filling.
Yeah, I mean, then it takes a while to get to the chicken.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now it's beautifully mixed. We have the egg and we have the milk, and then you just put it into your flour, like so. And
so you want a nice thin layer, because obviously once it goes into the pot with the oil in there, I mean, otherwise it just gets really thick, and you don't like the chewiness of the flour.
No. So you can double crumb it, because you just said the magic word to me.
There we go.
But the flour makes the egg stick, okay?
Okay.
So have a look here. We have this beautiful crumb. So it's always the flour.
Let's talk about
that's
the heat.
ready.
The heat factor in there, the heat factor.
Well, we can do a little test. Look.
How do you know when it's ready? How do you know when it's time?
When it starts bubbling, baby. It's going to start bubbling, but what I'm going to do is, you know what I've done for you?
Yeah.
I've already pre-cooked some up front, so I'm going to just really finish this off. I know you love the leg.
The drumstick, that's my
Yes,
thing.
that's your thing.
So in my culture, the man of the household,
Yes.
or the head of the household,
Yes.
i.e. me in most households that I've been to, gets the drumstick. It's a known thing.
Really?
In Shangaan culture, it's a known thing.
Well, I just think, and I'm not insulting anybody's culture, but there's more meat on the thigh, baby.
Ooh. I love it. Well, listen, we've made this super easy for you. If you want to, get involved with this, go on to expressoshow.com. The recipe has been loaded on there. All of the ingredients you're going to need, a step-by-step guide on how to get the crispiest. I mean, look at that. The richest, crispiest fried chicken. Don't tease me with the drumstick,
Do you
Jenny
think he's
Morris.
the head of the household? I'm the head in this kitchen.
Well, that's true.
You're my
Chef.
child.
Thank you very much.
Eat it and try. So remember,
Very nice.
it's some flour, wet, and then crumb. Okay? You
Straight
go
to the
flour,
chicken.
wet, and then crumb, and then straight into the pot. Oh, look at that. Is that good? You taste all those spices?
Absolutely, they all come together. It's like a dance in my mouth.
There
Go
you
on
go.
to expressoshow.com for the recipe. But if you missed any of these steps involved here, take a look at this.
Made with love by Clover. Oh, you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to Feel Good Breakfast Show. This is Expresso on S3, and we've got a surprise for you because I love Gospel Monday. I really love these performances.
So do I. So
it is
do
the
I.
best. You feel uplifted, and we've got somebody who's born and bred in Windhoek, Namibia. Gospel artist Trevor Malgas got his first taste of the stage at the tender age of 9 and has been performing ever since. Now, after moving to Joburg, Trevor became the praise and worship leader at the evangelistic Outreach Ministries International Church in El Dorado Park. An incredible feat for him. Hey, Aldo's representing say hello. Now, Trevor has now embarked on a solo career with the release of his first official single, Jesus Red My. This morning, the recording artist joins us in studio to tell us a bit more about his single ahead of this Gospel Monday performance that you will never ever forget. Welcome to Trevor Malchus.
Trevor.
Thank you, guys. It's a pleasure to be with you.
Such a star and such a wholesome guy as well. I mean, you walked in here and literally you brought so much sunshine into the studio this morning.
You.
But you started off at the age of 9. I mean, you've got to tell me, what was it about gospel music that drew you at 9?
Look, my grandparents were pastors. My father is a pastor. So I grew up in church all my life. So it's always been my passion. I think at the age of 8, actually, my dad put me on the table and he said, sing. And I started singing. And from the table, I went to the stage. And that's where it all began. Yeah.
From the table to the stage.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, well, that's good. I can listen to Trevor's voice all day. I want to ask him more questions. That's it. Just to hear you talk.
Ask him more.
Yes, I'll tell you what. All right, so you're single. Okay, congratulations on its release.
Thanks.
You must be very, very proud. Tell me a bit more about this song, because I'm sure we're going to hear it a bit later.
The song, Jesus Red My, it came during the lockdown. I was, everybody was touched by the lockdown. I think COVID came and it shocked us tremendously. So the one day I was sitting at home, no money coming in. There's people dying around you. I think everybody's been impacted by that. Sitting at home, went into the studio, started playing, feeling down. And the melody just started growing and the lyrics started flowing. And I literally finished the song in one day.
What?
Yeah, literally finished it in one day. I mean, it usually takes me weeks or months or years to finish a song. But this song, I literally finished. I started it in the morning and by the afternoon it was done.
Wow.
I recorded a little snippet. I sent it to my producer, Ezra. And he said, look, we need to work this song immediately. And I think there was just an urgency. If you listen to the song, there's a deep cry out to Jesus, just to save, not just as a sinner, but I think there's crying out for healing as well, because I mean, salvation is not just about sins being saved, but it's also about healing that comes. So
which
that is what
need now,
absolutely,
right?
absolutely.
More than ever.
And I think that is a desperate cry that came from my soul at that point in time. So that's where the song was birthed.
Yeah.
But Trevor, all of your music really is rooted in worship. Worship is important. Praise is incredibly important to you. Why is it so important for you to use your talent and your ability to sing and get music across, to do this, to worship and to praise?
I think each one of us have been assigned a specific talent. I mean, you guys are excellent presenters, and by doing what you're doing, you guys come with so much of energy. I think that which has been presented unto you, you make use of that to glorify the name of the Lord. That is my focus. I've been given this talent, and I want to use it to excel in whatever the Lord has placed before me. So that is my focus.
Love it.
So we had a poll on social media about a certain song you'd sing, and we got the results that came through. The songs that were selected, I'm sure all of them were fantastic. I mean, you could connect with each one. There was Total Praise, there was Sy Liefde is Wonderbaar, and then, of course, My Help. And I can confirm to you, 48% of our viewers have said My Help is in.
Sure.
So, and I can feel it, though.
Yeah.
It just shows
and
you...
you're going to sing it.
Yeah, you are.
For us. Obviously. You have to.
Obviously.
With my help.
with your help,
That's
yes,
correct.
of course. Please.
Yeah,
But I think the fact that my help got the most votes, I think that just shows the cry that's out there.
Yes.
People are looking for something and wanting to draw from the Lord. So
we're elevating the spirit this morning. Trevor, it's so good to have you here. Of course, Trevor's going absolutely nowhere. All throughout this morning for #Gospel Mondays here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. He's going to be blessing us with worship and praise and song, lots of song. Of course, with the help of Carl. Yes,
indeed.
Stick around for it.
Amen.
Somebody needs some help. Someone needs a little bit of help this morning. The sunrise doesn't care if we watch it or not. It will keep on being beautiful, even if no one bothers to look at it. That was a quote from the author Jean Amole, or Amol. I don't know. How do we know this? How do we know, if we're not looking at it, that a sunrise is actually beautiful? Well, we do know.
Because it's meant to be beautiful as well.
Because you take a photo of it.
That is
every
true.
single morning, at least from one perspective of this beautiful country of ours and sometimes the globe, you guys send us the most amazing sunrise photos. So thank you so much.
Oh, yes, indeed. And we've received so many great hashtag Nespresso sunrise photos over the last couple of weeks. But of course, there can only be one lucky winner. So we're going to say a huge congratulations. Can we get a drum roll, please, everybody? To Eugene Thomas. Thank you so much for sending in the spectacular sunrise. And we do have him on the line right now. A very good morning to you, Eugene Thomas. How are you doing this morning?
I'm good, and you guys? Thank you for having me, man.
Oh, it's an absolute pleasure, my friend. Well done for winning the competition, first of all. And I'm guessing congratulations on getting the travel mug, because these travel mugs, we can't say enough about them. They are amazing.
They're cool.
They will literally keep your coffee warm for like 2 days, okay? But I've got to ask,
Okay.
when and where did you take this spectacular photo?
This photo I took about, I think 2 years ago, 2019, in Mossel Bay, on Dana Bay's second beach. That's when I took that picture.
I'm a person, I love a good story behind a picture. So tell us a bit more about the picture. Give us a background to when you took this picture.
And make it exciting, please.
Even if you have to lie.
Oh, no. That specific morning, I came from night shift, and I could just see that the sunrise is just presenting itself absolutely spectacular that morning. Then I took my dogs. With our municipal bylaws, we have a certain period in the morning and in afternoons when we can walk our dogs on the beach. And I just saw that opportunity now. Let me go and relax, take a walk with them, grab the camera, because I'm always glued to it anyway, and go get a few pictures. And there is one that presented itself that morning.
Yeah, and
Told them the
boy,
story.
yeah, no, that was a great story. I respect you more because you were doing night shifts. You're a dog lover. I love that about you. You adhere to all of the laws, the bylaws, which is great. You're painting a really cool picture about yourself, my man. You say you've always got the camera with you. What is it about photography that you love? Are you a pro of sorts? Is this just a hobby?
No, I'm not a pro, and I won't say that it's a hobby per se, but I really, really do love photography. Because in the family, I'm always the one who ends up with a camera anyway, so...
I can understand why. The composition of your photos
Certainly.
is exquisite, dude. You've got a natural gift. We saw a gorgeous lady smiling next to you.
I was going to ask now.
We want a little bit of dirt. So who are you going to be sharing your first cup of coffee with in your travel mug?
It will most definitely be that lady, Danielle. It will definitely be her.
Wow.
Does that lady have a name?
Danielle.
Oh, Danielle.
Danielle, yes.
Oh, wow. So enjoy all the memories, all the pictures. We want to see more of those pictures, but enjoy your travel mug with Danielle. I'm sure she is super excited to have a first coffee with you and also just have that beautiful background.
I'll do that. Thank you, man.
Oh, man, what a legend. Nice guy.
Yeah, super
Solid
cool.
guy. Solid winner for the morning, but he does take an amazing photograph, and that's what's going to win you in our hashtag Nespresso Sunrise competition. Congratulations to Eugene, and in fact, to all of the winners. We really can't tell you how much of a different spin it's put on our days, being able to wake up to see your beautiful part of South Africa. I mean, just look at some of these pictures, man. Absolutely amazing. So congratulations, enjoy the coffee, and keep those pictures coming.
I'll do that. Thank you.
With every cup, we cultivate some of the finest coffee in the world, celebrating farmers as artists, elevating every coffee moment, because with every cup, precious coffee preserves the beauty of our world. Nespresso, what else?
The ultimate accessory, the latest shiny thing. Mesmerized, trying to keep up, but never getting ahead in an endless cycle of spending. In this world of constant upgrades, do you want a bank that takes your money or a bank that takes your money seriously?
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
It is your Feel Good Breakfast Show. This is Expresso on S3. We're opening up to social media. And the question was, what are your 3 things that keep you mentally strong? It's quite important. And I mean, you've been responding so beautifully. Also, the names that are on Facebook, such powerful names.
Everything you says belongs in a movie.
Yes.
Okay.
Can I prove it to you? Right.
Please do.
Okay, here we go. First one, Elizwa Maleswana. Think about that. That's a movie name, right?
Definitely.
Says,
What is she saying?
Reading books, running, and positive thinking is exactly what you need. See?
Definitely. I'm giving you full stars.
This next one. This next one is a movie name. Just watch.
Suhaima Fatima Ibrahim.
Right?
Right?
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going
Yes.
to give it to you. She says exercising, even if it's just running, eating healthy, and then healthy environment, just surrounding yourself with good people.
Indeed, it's so important.
No, this one.
This is the name, man.
This is the name.
No, this has got to be the name, JBD. Okay, here we go. Are you ready?
Even going to
Are you
say
ready?
this is a movie
Here we
name.
go. It is.
Yeah, we know. Here we go.
Cray-D_RSA.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dum,
Coming
dum.
to moving, yeah.
And now here we go. The 3 tips. Here we go. Praying, music, and
Expresso. Yeah.
It's your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
All right.
Another one. Luhutsuwa Mojele Mogajana says exercise, healthy food, and laughter. Yes, that is definitely 3 things that will help you keep you mentally fit, right?
Indeed. I love it. The mental fitness, it's great company, of course, and it's getting up to date with the news from around the world right here on S3. Like this.
Thank you very much, team. Just 7 o'clock now on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Time for us to take a look at those news headlines. Starting off here at home, where residents of Tshwane can now relax after the cheetah that escaped from the Rietvlei Nature Reserve last week came to the realization that there was no place like home. The female cheetah was spotted yesterday morning trying to catch a blesbok at the reserve, and she had made a safe return on her own. The city of Tshwane indicated that it suspects the animal may have got out through a hole dug by smaller animals under a fence, despite the fences being electrified and patrolled daily to prevent incidents of this kind. Staying in South Africa, health experts urgently call on South Africans to continue wearing their masks, maintain social distancing, wash their hands regularly, and steer clear of places with poor ventilation full of people. South Africa has reached the 55,000 mark for deaths due to COVID-19. However, it's estimated that 150,000 more people have died from the virus in South Africa than the figure indicates. South Africa's COVID-19 infection rate has risen sharply in the past fortnight, and cases in Gauteng have risen by 60% in the past week. In international news, meanwhile, doctors in India have reported an incidence of a rare infection, the so-called black fungus in COVID-19 patients that can lead to blindness. The dangerous fungal infection was diagnosed in a 25-year-old woman who had recovered from COVID-19. And the aggressive infection affects the nose, eyes, and sometimes the brain and lungs. Doctors believe mucormycosis, which has an overall mortality rate of 50%, may be triggered by the use of steroids, a life-saving treatment for severe and critically ill COVID-19 patients. In South Sudan, President Salva Kiir has dissolved parliament, a long-awaited step to pave the way for the appointment of lawmakers from former warring parties in the country. Now, the move was in line with a peace deal signed to end a civil war that began in 2013. And the deal that ended the civil war stipulates that Parliament must be expanded from 400 members to 550 and must include members from all parties to the peace accord. Now, despite the peace deal, violence is still raging in parts of the country. And now, some exciting news from the world of entertainment. Rising star Ami Faku has scored herself 3 nods in the 2021 South African Afro Music Awards that were announced on Friday. Faku, who shares the 3 nominations with Simpiwe Dana, Kelly Kumalo, and Vusi Nova, is nominated for the Best Female Artist Award, Best Song of the Year, and Best Rising Star. Now, Khumalo is nominated for the Best Female Artist, Best Collaboration and Best Song of the Year, while Vusi Nova received 2 nominations for the Best Collaboration with his song Ndandani that he did with Somizi Mhlongo. He's also nominated for Yiba Nati, a song he did with gospel singer Dumi Mkokstad, and his 3rd nomination comes in the Best Male Artist Award category. Soul and Afro jazz singer Simpiwe Dana also walked away with 3 nods for Best Adult Contemporary Artist, Best Album and Best Adult Contemporary Artist. Now, Khumalo's sister Zandi Khumalo bagged Best Collaboration and Best Rising Star nominations. The SAFMAs will also honor artists like Jabu Kanyile, Maurice Roda, Stompy Mavi, Vusi Liu, as well as Nana Coyote. Matijwane by presenting them with Lifetime Achievement Awards, which is fantastic. And the 3rd edition of the SAFMAs will take place on the 22nd of May at the Birchwood Hotel in Boksburg, out on the East Rand. Congratulations to all those nominated. That's where we leave it for now. Here's Graham with what's happening on the field.
Fearless saves every month on insurance with First for Women.
Thank you so much, Tobiso. Let's start after a bumper weekend of sport. In fact, for Sevens Rugby, the South African national Sevens team returned to action in the Rugby Africa Solidarity Sevens Cup at the Makota Stadium in Stellenbosch. African opponents Uganda, Kenya and Zimbabwe featuring in the tournament. And the Blitzboks, they played with 2 teams this weekend. SA1, captained by Siviwe Soizwapi, they won all of their matches, while SA2, led by Impi Fisser, they lost to only 1 fixture, and that was up against Old Foes Kenya in a very close defeat on Saturday. So SA1 beating Kenya 31-7 in the 1st and 2nd place playoff yesterday. And the Springbok Sevens team will be in Solidarity Sevens camp action again this coming weekend. And staying with local rugby, the table-topping Sharks recorded another very impressive 34-26 victory over the Lions. That was in round 2 of their Pro 14 Rainbow Cup in Durban on Saturday. Lucanio Arms side scoring 4 tries in the first 60 minutes to seal a very well-deserved win in the end. In the second fixture, the Bulls overcame a spirited Stormers 2016 at Cape Town Stadium. So that means the Sharks remain at the top of the log with 10 points, 2 points more than the Bulls with 8 points, and then the Stormers in 3rd with 2 points. The Lions sitting at the bottom of the table with just 1 point so far. And staying with rugby, the South African Women's Premier Division got off to a very exciting start on Saturday with defending champions Western Province beating Boland's Women's Rugby 38-6 at the Cape Town Stadium. In other results, Border Ladies, they secured a hard-fought 17-11 home victory in East London. That was over the Blue Bulls women. And then the EP Queens registered a 13-5 win over the Sharks women down in Durbs. Then it came to a thrilling conclusion this weekend. Cape Peninsula University of Technology, they beat Walter Sisulu University 30-25 in extra time to win the Varsity Shield title in a thrilling final at Tuck Stadium in their bio bubble in Pretoria. The last gasp try by Nathan Nkutu and fly half Fane Lee Snyders, they added the conversion as the Techies successfully defended their 2019 title after last year's tournament was, of course, cancelled due to our COVID-19 pandemic lockdown. Then a little further afield, Reds captain James O'Connor was the man of the moment. He scored the match-winning try, in fact, as his side beat the Brumbies 19-16 to be crowned Super Rugby AU champions in Brisbane on Saturday. This is the 2nd Super Rugby title for the Reds. It's been a while, though, almost a decade. Then in Super Rugby Aotearoa, the Crusaders, they overcame the 2 yellow cards of Cody Taylor and Siva Reese to defend their Super Rugby title after beating the Chiefs 24-13 in Christchurch. Then bringing it back home, Chakuma Madzi Vandila, they've done it. They've won the Nedbank Cup title after just edging out Chippa United 1-0 at the Free State Stadium on Saturday evening, but they really did dominate proceedings from start to finish. It was an evening filled with tears and cheers for the Limpopo side, who made history, winning their first ever major trophy. And it was a 27th minute try by Indabaya Tetwa Ndlondo that secured the cup win for TTM. So congratulations. A massive shot in the arm for the team. Then finally on to motorsport, reigning Formula One world champion Lewis Hamilton. He won the Spanish Grand Prix from pole position ahead of Red Bull's Max Verstappen and his teammate Valtteri Bottas, the usual suspects. This was the 7-time champion's 3rd win in 4 races and his 9th 98th career win. Hamilton extends his lead at the top of the championship as a result, now to 14 points. I'll touch on all of those headlines again in about an hour or so. Right now, though, let's see how your skies look with some beautiful sunrise pictures and get a take on the weather.
Thanks, G, and I love seeing your skies, and thank you to each and every viewer who takes the time to share their sunrise photos with us. It's such a wonderful way to start our day, and I want to kick off your 7 a.m. update. We have this amazing and glorious view of the sun's rays breaking through the clouds, casting a glow over the ocean. This is from Carmony Chetty, thank you. And then Sasha Steenkamp also shared this beautiful view with us, showing off these orange and yellow hues as the sun rises. Now, please do continue to share your sunrise photos with us on the Expresso Facebook page. We really love seeing your part of the country, and don't forget to share your location with us so we can give you a brief forecast for the day too. Now, while we enjoy experiencing a sunrise from your part of South Africa, we do have some international viewers tuning in on both the YouTube as well as Africa channel platforms in the US of A. And this morning we report on the weather from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, at the junction of three rivers. Now, Pittsburgh is known as both the Steel City for its more than 300 steel-related businesses, as well as the City of Bridges for its 446 bridges. Today, we'll reach a maximum of 26 degrees Celsius with a stray shower. It'll be cloudy in the morning, then a blend of sun and clouds in the afternoon. If you're in Pittsburgh today, you can expect a cool day ahead, reaching a maximum of 15 degrees Celsius. Now, bridging over to Asia, China emits more greenhouse gas than the entire developed world combined, a new report has claimed. Research by the Rhodium Group says China emitted 27% of the world's greenhouse gases in 2019. The US was the second largest emitter at 11%, and India was third with 6.6% of emissions. Now, China's emissions more than tripled over the previous 3 decades. The Asian giant has the world's largest population, so its per-person emissions are still far behind the US. But the research said the emissions have increased too, tripling over the course of 2 decades. China has since vowed to reach net zero emissions by 2060, with a peak no later than 2030. However, China is heavily reliant on coal power. The country is currently running 1,058 coal plants, more than half of the world's capacity, and scientists warn without an agreement between the US and China, it will be hard to avert dangerous climate change. Now, let's take a look at the temperatures from across South Africa. It looks like a low to mid-20s for you and no precipitation. Polokwane, I'll start with you, 8 to 24. Bombela, 12 to 27 for you today. Pretoria, 8 is your start to a high of 24. Johannesburg, 8 to 21 degrees Celsius. Mahikeng, 7 the low to a high of 26. Klerksdorp, 5 to 25. Kimberley, 6 to 23. Bloemfontein, 23 the high as well, from a low of 3. Richards Bay, 16 to 25. Pietermaritzburg, just 9, rising to 25. Durban, the same max for you, 25 from a low of 16. Mthatha, 6 to 24. East London, 12 to 23. Cradock, you can expect 5 this morning, rising to 24. Gqeberha, 13 to 22. George, 20 is the max from a low of 12. A minimum of 30 degrees Celsius in the mother city, rising to 20. Worcester, 7 to 27. Sutherland, 21 the max from a low of 6. And Upington wrapping up with you, 28 the maximum from a low of 9 degrees Celsius this morning. That's a wrap of your temperatures. Thank you so much for sending those sunrise pictures. Please keep them coming as we get on to some mental toughness right here in Expresso.
Mental toughness.
Are you mentally tough?
Sometimes.
Sometimes I am. You've got to be mentally tough all the time. No, it is. It's I think, the battleground that most of us are waging a war right now. Dr. Steve Harris, who actually has a PhD in mental toughness. He is here to answer our questions and hopefully yours as well. Stick around.
Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back to it, your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It is Expresso. We're live here on S3. Thank you very much for choosing to wake up with us on this beautiful Monday morning. It's the start of a brand new week, and we're getting some Monday motivation, G-Man, because, we want to set the tone for the week, and we're getting this motivation from award-winning entrepreneur and motivational speaker, Dr. Steve Harris. And you mentioned it. He's got a PhD on mental toughness, which is what we're talking about this morning as we kickstart our week off on a positive note.
A very good morning, Steve. How are you, sir? Are you feeling tough this early in the morning?
Challenged, but tough.
But tough, man. What a great way to kickstart the week. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to ask you, as someone who has examined this in a thesis, what is mental toughness? How would you define what mental toughness is in terms of what's actually going on in our mind and body?
Okay, that's a good question. I guess my best definition I know is managing your mind so that you give your best performance consistently, despite what's happening in your mind or outside of you. Now you can become that so-called best version of yourself. I like to add to that you have both fire in the belly and ice in the mind.
Wow.
You got this incredible desire to do stuff, not necessarily achieve, I think it's a bit trite, but to do things, to get out there, to be successful, to be significant. But you've also got a calm demeanor underpinning that, and the two work together.
Finding that balance. So how do you transcend everything that's going on in the world, especially currently?
Especially now, and then be able to obviously then achieve your goals, reach your full potential. Where does it all begin, Dr. Harris? Where does it begin for a person really wanting to tap into that state of toughness?
I've decided, in my experience and my times with corporates and sports teams, that it begins with the awareness that you can improve your mental toughness. There is such a thing. There are some people out there that actually believe there's no such thing, but I'm clearly a protagonist of it. So it starts with awareness. You can improve your mental toughness, like you can improve anything, just by a little bit, so that you can improve your performance. If you think about the English cycling team, the Sky team, 2012, here we got a team that's never won a Tour de France, no individual, that is. So England, nothing. Everyone else, 100%. So David Brailsford comes along, is their new cycling manager, and says, can you imagine, to all the guys, can you imagine a situation where you can improve everything you do by 1%? The guys sort of think, well, yeah, okay. They won 7 Tour de France's in a row after that. They'd never won before. So now, is it linked? I hope so. I guess so. But the rub is that the winner of the Tour de France on average wins it by 0.05%.
Wow.
Between the first guy and the next guy. You don't know anyone that came third or fourth.
For sure. I
love the margin.
It's the tiniest margin. I think that's where sport becomes a wonderful kind of yardstick or an opportunity for us to see this in action, and a great way for you to get the narrative across, for people to understand that it really is. It's the millimeters that can define you in that kind of context. So let's bring it over to our world. I'm a person that's wanting to get the most out of my job, find a work-life balance, be able to be there for my colleagues, be there for my family. What practical steps or what habits can I introduce to become mentally stronger myself? I'd love to win a Tour de France, but I want to start with just making it through the morning.
But you're not going to.
Yeah.
I can promise you you're not going to.
And we can tell him that for free.
You don't know me. You don't know me, Steve.
You don't know me.
You just made me a little bit tougher, my friend. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. I'm going to take you out, Dr. Steve.
So what are those habits, Doctor?
Begin?
Okay, let's go with those. The PhD thesis I distilled 7. And of course, it's literature reviews, and it's my own experience, but it's kind of cast in stone now. And the first one is concentration. You must improve your concentration. You guys are doing pretty well at the moment. I give you a high mark.
Thanks for
You're
that.
Concentrating on.
Thank you.
And I'm the one that's struggling. But it starts with, and concentration starts with passion. You must absolutely be motivated and love what you're doing. If you don't, find it or leave.
Okay.
Because you're a burden to yourself or others. So it starts with passion. The next component that you can practice is composure. Now that's probably the biggest one. Can you, as Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, big name, he's the guy that sort of invented this zone, this in the flow thing. And he says, can you get into the zone? And that's like being in the eye of the storm.
Sure.
Where you notice all your problems, but you're not as affected by them. You're composed. You can kind of get on with life. You're not caught up in them. The third one is, I'm going to go to 7. We've got the time, otherwise you just cut me off. The third one is controlled aggression, which is upping the intensity, that you get more done, that you can achieve more by just like the Springboks do.
Sure.
That's their biggest strength. They up the intensity. The next one is, after controlled aggression, is confidence. And confidence is self-belief without arrogance. You're confident, you believe in yourself, but you don't tip into that arrogant stage.
Steve, I'm going to stop you right there. You've given us a lot of food for thought to really sink our teeth into. We'll pick that up in just a moment. We are going to continue this discussion. Some absolute gems. You're forcing me to concentrate because this is unbelievably interesting. So thank you so much. And it's amazing how much of this applies to this kind of job.
Exactly this, but I think it applies to everyone in any environment as well. So please do continue to weigh in on our Facebook page, Expresso Morning Show, SABC3. More with Dr. Harris in a bit.
Time for our quote of the day, and this is something to concentrate on. Now, the thing is, when it comes to your mind, that's all good and well, but what about your health? What about your body? What about focusing and concentrating on that? And that's why Jamie Lee is about to share something so profound from Buddha.
Absolutely. He once had these words to say. He said, to keep the body in good health is a duty. Otherwise, we shall not be able to keep our mind strong and clear. And absolutely correct, because it goes hand in hand. When your mind is good, your body is good. When you're physically well, your mind is clear and you'll be able to tackle anything that goes ahead. So again, love this quote from Buddha. Let us know what you thought about that.
It is a beautiful thing, and I hope that you are concentrating on your health and your body and your mind and focusing your eyes on Expresso.
Concentrate, G-Man. Concentrate.
Focus.
Focus.
I'm in the zone.
Bring that passion.
I am. I'm in the eye of the storm right now. So all morning we've been encouraging healthy sleeping patterns and positive physical exercise as key components to having a positive mindset. And this should be no different for our kids. And we introduce Soweto Swim School as the first privately owned swim school in the heart of Soweto, Johannesburg.
They're doing such fantastic work there. Their aim is to encourage development of swimming skills, which I need, and to prevent drowning incidents of children.
Love that,
but not only that, they also help broaden the sporting codes to encourage these kids to remain in school and to excel in their sporting fields. Check this out.
My name is Tubi Masekela. I am the co-founder of Soweto Swim School. My husband Moses and I started with the dream in 2013. We officially opened our doors in November of 2020. We were inspired by this whole notion that Black people can't swim. And we just wanted to challenge that notion and get all of our children in the townships introduced to swimming properly in a safe environment with highly qualified swimming instructors. So that's how the whole idea was born.
We're starting from 2 years, kids from 2 years and upwards. And we even teach the adults as well. And until we teach until they're 66 years old, we're also teaching them our styles. We have beginners, we have intermediary, we have the advanced. Those are the groups of swimmers. So for the beginners, we're starting from breathing. We're teaching them how to breathe in the water, and we teach them how to float in the water as well. And we're teaching them how to kick in the water for the beginners. And then the level 2s, those are the intermediary groups. Those ones are kicking with the boards. They can kick on their own, and they can kick from shallow end to deep end. And the advanced ones, those are the groups that they can swim for themselves. They're doing the freestyle stroke and backstroke and breaststroke as well, and butterfly.
So if you bring the facilities closer to the people will, learn the skill to swim. Soweto Swim School caters for the entire community. So we don't believe in, differentiating our client base. At the moment, we are finding that it's mostly parents who are employed who are bringing their children to the center. Our objective is to reach as many children in the township as possible. We also want to reach those adults that have thought that they might have missed the opportunity to learn to swim.
Swimming school in Soweto is a great achievement. It takes a lot of kids out of the street. I would encourage other parents to bring their kids to learn how to swim. In the black community, it's not something that happens a lot, but with this opportunity, I think that it will help a lot to get other kids and parents to come and learn how to swim.
I like to come here to swim and to exercise and to play in the water. When I grow up, I want to be a professional swimmer to win medals.
I've been attending swimming school for 1 month. What I've learned here from Soweto Swim School, I've learned how to breathe in while you're in the water, kicking, because I never knew that before, and also floating inside the water. What I like about Soweto Swim School is, I would say, the lectures, the environment here, and also the kindness of how they teach us how to swim.
We want people in the township to know how to swim. It's very sad to see the statistics in South Africa that young people and adults, they are drowning each and every year. So we want to give back to the community. We give these young people the skill. This is a life skill. They will teach how to swim. We want them to go for the galas, to compete in the galas, the CGA galas, so that we can at least have an Olympian from Soweto.
Ultimately, our future aspirations is to grow Soweto Swim School, and we hope that we can one day have a much bigger center. We hope to be able to also accommodate for disabled community and have aquatherapy in our center. I would say because we want to reach a lot of children in the township, we are finding that we are still missing the disadvantaged children who grow up in homes that are dependent on grants. So if there are corporates out there who are looking to sponsor children, please get in touch with us.
You've got to love it.
That is beautiful. Oh. I love that. I love seeing that little gogo in the background, learning how to swim with that. That is what it's all about. Any loss of life due to drowning is just not acceptable. So congratulations to that amazing team. Hopefully that's inspired you. If you're feeling mental tough, are you tough? Are you tough, man?
Life skills are over there, but it's also social development in a big way. Listen, hopefully that's also got you thinking about your mental toughness, because that conversation is still going on with Dr. Steve Harris just after this.
Controlled aggression.
Control!
Welcome back as we continue a really interesting conversation about mental toughness this morning and becoming more resilient through life's challenges, something that we all need after the last year that we've experienced.
Sure. And this year.
Sure, man, and we've, it just continues. It's a year and a half, and we are now sitting down with award-winning entrepreneur, motivational speaker, and a man who believes that I will never win the Tour de France, Dr. Steve Harris, who's going to guide us through the rest of this discussion. Steve, thanks so much for sticking around. Hugely interesting first half of the conversation. We're going to pick it up again because I think we left off on number 5 of the pillars that we need to focus on. There was concentration.
Yes.
There was getting into the zone, that composure. There was controlled aggression. There was confidence without arrogance. Where do we pick up from there?
Okay, calculated risks. This is where you use your curiosity with courage to innovate and improvise. So crucial, absolutely. The next one, I have to speak fast because your show is so short.
Yeah, man.
You pursue competence through learning, unlearning, and relearning. And the real problem one is the unlearning. We struggle with that.
Sure.
And I think of Elaine de Botton's quote, and I love this one because it applies to me too. If you're not embarrassed by the person you were a year ago, the chances are you're not learning fast enough.
Sure.
And that's big. And certainly I look at some of the stuff I write and books and I think, oh, my word, did I write that? And the final one, you display commitment. You're neither trapped in gritting or thinking you got to quit, you reinvent. So those are the 7
I love
that
it.
I suggest.
And they sound simple enough, right? Because they're straightforward. We all do know and understand all 7 of those concepts. But how can mental toughness then help us in handling unplanned change? So when things happen around us and we suddenly have to reinvent or evolve or
i.e.
adjust.
a global pandemic and a complete shutdown of absolutely everything on the planet.
Yeah. Well, when you're mentally tough or tougher, you stop judging, you stop criticizing, you stop moaning and groaning and naming and blaming. And that takes away those energy leaks. Of course, we instinctively want to moan and groan, but if your praise versus criticism ratio is starting to err on criticism, you're not going to handle the pandemic. You're going to start blaming. It's going to be a pandemic. It's going to be, I'm going to go down that rabbit hole. But nevertheless, it becomes a question of you're not responsible. These people are doing it to you. And I don't think that people that are complaining all the time quite know what it's like to listen to them. No one tells them, I suppose. So that's how I believe you handle, and the lovely quote again, old George Bernard Shaw said, those who cannot change their mind cannot change anything.
I love it. Well, I suppose,
Very, very powerful stuff. And maybe this is the thing, because we've had this wonderful bird's eye view of how humanity, how South Africa has dealt with what we've gone through over the last year and a half and evolved. There is a silver lining here. There is an opportunity. We are being forced through this gateway where we have to reimagine ourselves. Why is it so important to continue that evolution, to, as you say, keep moving forward so that we can look back and be embarrassed at our previous version of ourselves? Why do we have to keep reinventing ourselves?
I think because most of us want to be relevant. Instinctively want to be part of the game. So we search for answers. We get a qualification, we get experience, and that's relevance. But to evolve, you need to go from relevance to remarkable. So you up the game a bit and you start benchmarking all over the place and seeing, well, how do other people do it? How can I become remarkable, not just relevant? But the real key to mental toughness is to become rare. How do I become rare and find new answers? And that's not when you question the answers anymore. That's when you question the questions. So that's the evolution. When you start questioning the questions, now you're in the mental toughness zone. And someone who did that very well was Freddie Mercury. You must recall that he joined pop and opera. The managers thought he was crazy, but he wasn't.
He did it.
He did it.
And
so those are my...
Starts with preparation, right? That preparedness.
I love this. My friend, I would imagine you cost about $1 million an hour, so I know we can't lean on you personally, but I really do appreciate the fact that we've had you here. So here's something I'm going to throw out to you. I know there's a few more books in you. One of your future books is going to be How I Helped a Nobody Win the Tour de France, and then we're going to set ourselves that task and we're going to do it.
I like that title.
I love it, man. You've been amazing this morning. Thank you so much. I can understand why you are seen as the guru that you are. And hopefully we've given you guys at home just a starting point to start thinking about your own resilience, your own mental toughness, so that when the chips are down, you can rely on your inner strength. But an amazing conversation. Thank you so much.
Stop complaining. Stop moaning. Evolve. Do something about it. I need to stop complaining about meat-free Mondays.
It feels like you're complaining right now a little bit.
I need to stop complaining about it. Just eat the plant.
Can I just sort it out for you? You don't have to complain at all. And in fact, Graham, you said it perfectly. When the chips are down, go to the chips. That's the whole idea. And that's why I got Chef Jenny Morris with me, because earlier we showed you crispy fried chicken. Can we show you the perfect accompaniment to crispy fried chicken? That is crispy fried potatoes, something beautiful. And I think that when it comes to potatoes, there's always this conundrum. The conundrum is to get it fluffy and beautiful on the inside, and then like unctuous and crispy on the outside. I love the word unctuous. I had to use it with you,
Oh,
Chef
darling,
Jenny
because
Morris.
I'm anxious, aren't I?
Yes, you are indeed. Honestly, there are a few things hotter than crispy and fried. And one of those things.
This is called
Jenny Morris.
Cupboard love.
Just letting you know. Okay, great. So let's start us off. Now, here is the... Ooh.
Sterilized already.
Sterilized, thank you very much.
You know.
Are you giving me this job?
Giving you
All right.
the whole
So what are you
job.
looking for with regard to this? Are you looking for cubes or wedgies?
Darling, would you like a wedgie?
I would love a wedgie, especially from you, though. That's fine.
I'll
yes,
give you some
talk
fresh
to me.
wedgies just now.
Right, so are you looking for this type of...
I'm looking for that, and then I'm going to answer your question.
Okay, because I want fluff on the inside, and I want like unctuous, crispy on the outside.
Well,
Yes, please.
okay. So basically, when you are... Cut, darling, can you not multitask?
I can
Listen
multitask,
and-
but it's just very difficult not to look at you. It's okay,
Well,
I'm going to try my best.
I'm a bit frightened
Okay.
because you made me boil the
Yes.
milk over last week, so you might cut yourself.
Anything can happen with Jenny Morris in the kitchen, you know what I'm saying? Okay, but yes, continue.
Okay, so you parboil these, which is wonderful because it makes all the starch gather around the exterior of the potato, which is
right.
going to give you a lovely crispiness.
Okay.
Add salt to the water because that also adds to the crispiness. And then once you've done those wedges, you've got to rough them up, baby.
Really?
Yes. 'cause
So
you-
rough them up.
Look, you want them all
I got
gorgeous,
you.
and you see what I'm saying?
So you, okay, I see what you're doing. You're kind of working through the starch.
Working through the
Okay, I get that. That's beautiful.
And you see these little bits that
Yes.
stick up. Those give you the yummiest, crispiest yumminess.
See, now my stomach is starting to go... Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Is it
And
doing
you know,
that?
Yeah, you know it's good now. You know it's going to happen. I see olive oil goes on the top. Now, there's a big debate here. The debate is when you do your wedges or your cubes, etc. Some people enjoy doing the entire potato boiled first,
Yes.
and then doing the cutting, and
Yes.
then going afterwards. Other people like to prepare it like this
You
and
can.
then pop in the pot.
Well, it depends. You know, it depends on what you want to serve. Now, this is lovely because it's that crispy chicken. It's kind of got that takeaway
Yes,
feel to it.
it does.
So this suits it perfectly. If you're doing like a roasty potato, I would do it whole.
Okay.
And then you can cut it to the shape that you want. This is onion powder.
Beautiful.
People, this is garlic powder.
All right,
It's
so we're going
delicious.
garlic powder, we're going salt, we're going
Yes.
pepper. I see you've got one of your favorite ingredients. I know you love this ingredient. You love paprika.
I love the paprika
yes.
so much. I'm putting it all in. And then you can do this and just...
Oh, great. So we're going to do this, what, 40 to 45 minutes?
In the oven.
In the oven, beautifully.
And hot oven. Carl, the secret
All
to
right.
good potatoes is a lovely hot oven.
Hot oven. Great spicing, of course, and also a great recipe. Now, Jenny and I were up all night last night getting the recipe together for you. I want it to be as beautiful as possible. So I want you to get the most crispy and also most fluffy on the inside potatoes. What you need to do, the first step is to go to expressoshow.com. The second step, I have a feeling that Jenny is going to make me taste something. All right, and that's going to happen in 3, 2, 1. Thank you. I knew it's going to happen.
and one for Jenny.
Get the recipe. Oh, potatoes in the morning.
Oh,
Best
I
ever.
love potatoes in the morning.
Thank you.
Oh, yummy, yum.
So crispy indeed. But of course, we're still hanging out with recording artist Trevor Malchus, and he's standing by to perform his rendition of the well-loved gospel song, My Help Cometh From the Lord, originally performed by the Brooklyn Tabernacle Choir. Now, the song is based on Psalm 121 in the Holy Bible and talks about trusting in the Lord to provide help at all times. All you have to do is gaze on God and wait on Him for assistance. And the winning song of the Gospel Monday poll is My Help. So Trevor Malchus and the band, take it away.
I will lift up mine eyes to the hills, from where cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord who made heaven and earth. He said, He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. The Lord that keepeth thee, He will not slumber nor sleep. For the Lord is thy keeper, the Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand, upon thy right hand. For the sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. He shall preserve thy soul, and even forevermore. All of my help coming from the Lord. I will lift up mine eyes to the hills, from where cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord who made heaven and earth. He said, He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. To the Lord that keepeth thee, He will not slumber nor sleep. For the Lord is thy keeper, the Lord is thy shade, yea, upon thy right hand, oh, upon thy right hand. For the sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yes, He shall preserve thy soul, and even forevermore. Oh, 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 say my help. Yes, my help. Say my help. All of my help. Coming from
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, everybody. You're still opening up with S3 here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Just in time for important topic right now, sleep. Sleep, sleep. Sleep is something science has been constantly revealing to us just how important it is to our mental health and just our overall well-being. And this morning we are joined by Dr. Siamak Saleh, a doctor who has quite the following on TikTok with nearly 1 million followers and over 4.8 million likes. Nonetheless, he is a good doctor with a passion to educate, entertain and inspire, and he'll be doing all of those with regards to sleep today. So doctor, it's so good to have you with us.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor being here.
And I was saying nearly 1 million followers. You actually woke up today with 1 million followers.
Yes.
So now you can actually sleep and you can rest.
Finally.
You're very famous on TikTok, but you are a real doctor. And the answers you're going to give us today are going to help so many people. Maybe let's start here. Why is sleep so important?
Sleep is so important because it's essential for your physical and mental health. So the lack of sleep has been associated with lots of complications from obesity, diabetes, increased risk of heart attack, stroke, cancer, and the list goes on. I mean, it can go until tomorrow. That's why it's very important.
For sure. As a parent, I'm not getting a lot of sleep and I'm not okay right now.
And
but
I'm not a parent and I'm also not getting enough sleep.
That's because you're on the street, which is a different thing. But of course, there's different levels or type of sleep when it comes to how you should be sleeping. What type of sleep should we be aiming for?
So I get this question a lot, and what I say, you need to focus on the quality of your sleep. You need 7 to 9 hours for adults, and if you're a teen and younger, obviously more. Let's go with 8 hours.
Yeah. Well, even that we want to laugh about.
So they say percentage of people who can sleep 7 hours and have no impairment is 0. If you sleep within 7 hours, you will have some kind of impairment. And these are being proven. So I would say 8 hours of quality sleep. And quality sleep means, like, for example, drinking alcohol and falling asleep is not sleep because your sleep will be light, fragmented. It blocks your REM sleep. So...
Well, we'll get into that. We'll get into the different breakdown of the different types and stages of sleep. But I'm listening to you, and it sounds very romantic what you're saying, Doctor. 9 hours of sleep, 8 hours. I mean, that's a dream. For someone like me who's just never able to get 8 or 9 hours of sleep, and I nap a lot in the afternoon, is that advisable? Are naps important, or do they help?
So let's go with this thing. They say, so sleep is driven by 2 forces. One is circadian rhythm, which is an internal clock. Tells you when to sleep, when to wake up. And the other one is the sleep pressure. It's a build-up of adenosine throughout the day that makes you sleepier. So when you sleep in the afternoon, like you open that pressure and it gets released, so you struggle to sleep at night.
Yes.
So generally, I don't advise taking naps. 30-minute naps should be okay, but not more than that.
So I can't keep on going at these 4-hour naps, yeah?
Can I add? They say sleep is a necessity, not a luxury. I mean, if you don't drink water, you're gonna die. Don't breathe, you're gonna die. If you don't sleep, you're also gonna die.
Wow.
It's the funniest thing. When I was working on cruise ships, we used to do something called the 18-minute nap. So we'd literally put our phone on for 18 minutes. And for some reason, it always made me feel like I had the best and I woke up feeling rejuvenated. But is there things that prevent us from getting a good night's rest besides taking naps during the day?
I'll go with the most famous one, which I also fall for, is being on your phone at night. Being on your phone, on laptop, on TV, the blue lights, it suppresses your melatonin, which is the sleep hormone. And that postpones your sleep by 2 to 3 hours.
Oh, wow.
Drinking coffee is another one. The coffee stays in your system for 6 to 8 hours. And it's a stimulant, so it makes you struggle to sleep.
Yes.
I know some people say, I can drink a cup of coffee and sleep perfectly.
Yeah.
But they should know that caffeine reduces your REM sleep by 20%.
Let's talk about that. What is REM sleep? Because you've mentioned it a few times, and it sounds like the most important thing that you will leave us with today. What are the different stages and the different types of sleep? What is REM sleep?
So sleep is divided into 2 types. There's a non-REM, non-rapid eye movement, which is divided into another 4 stages, 1, 2, 3, 4, from lighter to deeper.
Okay.
And then REM sleep is the deep sleep. So each of them have their own functions, but REM sleep is when you have vivid dreams, when your brain is as active as when you're awake. When sleep, it cleanses your brain from toxins, and where the creativity, where when the information that you learn during the day gets stored in the long term in the non-REM, and in the REM sleep, it gets connected with old memories, and that's where the creativity comes from. That's where Paul McCartney, the song Yesterday, he dreamt of it, woke up, wrote it down. That's where the
magic happens.
Yes.
Jamie often says that she dreams about me, and it happens at least 3 times a week.
You're dreaming.
Does that mean she's getting a lot of REM sleep? And what habits can we get into then to get more of that quality REM sleep?
I think when she's saying those things you're dreaming about
exactly.
it.
Doctor, here's the thing that I also wanted to ask. A lot of people always say they're sleep deprived or they suffer from sleep deprivation. What exactly do they mean when they're saying that?
So, with an example, they say if you put an alarm, let's say, to wake up at a certain time, and your alarm doesn't go off, would you sleep beyond that time? If the answer is yes, then you're sleep deprived.
Tabiso?
You dream about me every night. I can't do this. Wow. Yes.
So sleep deprivation, they say the shorter your sleep, the shorter your life. I mean, if this doesn't light up something in you, then it's, I don't know, because sleep has been associated with, we can even go car accidents. There's this micro sleeps that if you're sleep deprived, you get micro sleeps like 1 to 2 seconds. I mean, if you're drunk and driving, it's not good, but at least you have a slowed reaction. But when you have 1 or 2 seconds of micro sleep, you can swerve into the oncoming lane, and they say fatigue-related accidents are even more common than drunk driving.
I don't know about you, suddenly I feel like I need to go take a good night rest just to avoid all of that.
Yes.
Doctor, it's been a pleasure speaking to you this morning about all the sleep that we need to get on, and also telling him that he needs to stop dreaming about me. So thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Do you do dance videos on your TikTok?
I haven't, but since I'm reached 1 million, I should maybe.
I think it's time, I think it's time. Doctor, thank you so much for that. Hopefully that's inspired you to start looking at the way that you're sleeping and approaching sleep in a different way. Adjust the way you sleep, get those sleep hygiene habits in check.
Exactly.
Hey? You know, I've been waiting for this moment for a long time.
Listen, Brad, we have both, all right? We have both been waiting for this magical moment. We've now just proven, in fact, that it's not just going to increase your happiness, but it could be life-saving, in fact, to get a good quality night's sleep. But that requires a good expert quality bed.
So how do you find a quality bed? Shopping for a new bed can be, you know, quite a task.
Do it.
You need to decide on the size of the bed, try it out, make sure it's comfy. Also ensure it supports all the edges you want supported. But of course, there are 2 people who went bed shopping together. A big step in their relationship.
Massive.
Graham and Ryle visited the Rest Assured showroom last week to find their perfect bed match. Let's see what happens.
I was really nervous.
Yes, it was. Come join me. Watch this.
I'm asleep already, dude.
I don't know why we're both sighing, but it's just so relaxing being here. I don't know if you guys know this, but we spend up to 1/3 of our lives sleeping. In our case, probably a bit less, getting up at 3:30 every morning, but I suppose that puts even added importance on having a good quality mattress.
Yeah, gee, I couldn't agree more, and that's why we're out here at Rest Assured, where at the heart of each mattress is a solid spring construction that provides unmatched support as well as comfort.
We're buying separate beds today, eh? Just, I know what you're thinking. So what should I be thinking about when I approach buying a new bed?
There's a couple of factors you should consider when you're choosing a bed. Firstly, come in with your partner as well when you're choosing a bed.
Yeah, I'm here.
Separate beds, I told you, separate beds.
So come in with your partner, test out all the different beds, and most importantly, make sure you're comfortable and relaxed.
Now, I think I'm a lot like every other South African out there. When it comes to a bed, we've pretty much had it for close on forever. How often should we actually be replacing our mattress?
I would say a good mattress lasts up to 8 to 12 years.
Well, clearly no one size fits all. Maybe you can walk us through how you guys have structured your range and what's available?
We've got pocket spring beds, we've got Bonnell spring beds, and we've got our Infinity collection as well. Each division has different comfort levels suited to your needs and also to your budget.
Can you tackle this scenario? What happens if I'm, and just like G, a bit of an issue with my back? I've either torn or slipped a disc, or I'm just suffering with lower back issues. Do you have a bed for me?
Of course, Raul. Look, a comfort level for you is very important. That's why we say come out to the showroom, come and test out the bed. One person's back problem might like a certain comfort level, and another person's back, you might like another comfort level.
Thanks, man. You care. I got you. Care, man. No, but, and again, maybe I can ask this on your behalf. What would you recommend for someone living a really active lifestyle?
For a sportsman, they tend to like the firmer mattress, which gives them that lumbar support, and it just gives them peace of mind that they're going to be supported throughout the night. This bed's called the Mayfair. Simply put, the mattress, it's got different foam layers for different comfort levels, and below you've got the pocket spring, which is designed to contour to your body's sleeping position and also your body's shape.
All right, buddy, come on, give it a shot.
Let's figure it out.
Yeah. Test it out, big guy.
It's definitely comfortable.
Don't fall asleep.
I think I found the one here, gents. You guys can carry on looking for a bed. I'll be right here.
Okay, now I'm like really jealous. I need a bed, man. Come. This is calling to me. Oh, I like that. So what am I feeling here?
So this is the body balance. It's got a nested pocket spring system. It's got blue gel filling in as well.
Okay, I'm fully relaxed, and I've got to say, this is a comfortable bed.
You know, the ascot's not too bad either, G.
I've got to say, this probably feels like the best bed that I've ever lain on. But is there anything that is even more premium than this?
There are two beds up from this one, actually.
Oh.
The bed that I'm sitting on is the Cambridge, but the ultimate premium bed is up here on the stage.
The Oxford.
Introducing the Oxford. What you see here is a premium quality product. We have been around since 1979, and what you see here is everything handmade. It's all in-house manufactured by Strand Foam, from the micro-quilted ticking fabric to the foam, and all the way down to the spring construction as well. We are proudly South African, and we have a national footprint, and we are also endorsed by the South African Physiotherapy Society. Have a try.
I have to. We didn't come all this way. Oh, buddy, what are you waiting for? Come, man. It's like, makes me feel rich.
Yo, you're right, man. I feel like we should be donning some silk PJs right now.
Like silk pillows. In fact, silk everything, man. Silk everything. And I gotta say, after testing them out for ourselves, I reckon with Rest Assured's advanced technology in sleep and their comfort and support, along with the double-tempered coil system and construction, the blue gel, memory foam, all of that combined together, I think you're gonna get all of the comfort, the support, the durability that you could ever need.
Now I can definitely rest assured knowing that I think we found our perfect match. What do you say?
But you're my perfect match.
Oh, man. I love you, G.
All right, Stuart, will you wake us up before you close?
Of course we'll wake you up before.
Dude, we're live.
What?
Yeah,
what?
live. We're live on, yes. That's it. Just wake up for a second. I just want to make sure that he's still at work and still not sleeping in the showroom. I must just say, watching you and Ryle purchasing a bed together has been the highlight.
It was a big step, and I found out a lot about Ryle.
Yeah.
He burns hot when he sleeps.
Yeah, I can imagine.
That's his vibe.
Looks like a guy with cold feet.
In our next one, we're going to go adopt a pet together, which is the even bigger step. But did you know that the evolution of Pocket Spring Systems' unique design allows each individual pocket coil to expand or compress around the shape of your body, creating a soft and comfortable mold. It literally fits around your body.
Oh, that is absolutely incredible, and I like the fact that it's fitting around my body right now. It's epic, to be honest with you, and it's the same spring system that this particular bed has, and Wait for it. There's a big competition. I can feel it. I can feel it coming.
This is a massive one, so don't you sleep on this one. You stand a chance of winning a Rest Assured Ruby Queen base set with a no-turn mattress and an Evolution pocket spring system valued at, get this, 8,000 Rand.
Whoa.
What you got to do to enter is reply to the competition post on Expresso's Facebook, our Twitter, or our Instagram page, and tell us why you would love to win a Rest Assured Ruby bed. And remember to include that hashtag Rest Assured in your answer. The competition closes 9 a.m. today, but you can find all the terms and conditions on expressoshow.com.
And to see more on the Rest Assured products, please follow them on Instagram at restassured.beds. And as mentioned, don't sleep on this one, unless you are on S3, opening up to new bed options.
The rich taste that says you've arrived. Uyigakara. Living a life of illusion. Leaving your finances on the rocks. In this world of Bazotina Bantu, do you want a bank that takes your money or a bank that takes your money seriously?
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
It's only weird if you make eye contact,
Yeah,
bro.
okay, fine. Shall we make eye contact? Let's do it. You ready? You know what? I'm actually missing somebody in this bed, though. It's Tabiso.
Missing you.
Uncle Tabsi, what are you doing right now? Are you doing news? What's happening?
Working hard while everybody else sleeps around here. 8 o'clock, time for your news. A final look at that. Police in the Western Cape have seized a large amount of heroin, tick, cocaine, mandrax tablets with a street value of 13 million rand. Tick, that was. Police spokesperson Novella Potelwa said 6 suspects were arrested during the actions, a number of whom had already appeared in court. And of course, Gqeberha police arrested 2 suspected abalone poachers. A bag containing 69 pieces of abalone diving equipment and the suspects' vehicles were seized. Recently, 3 men were arrested in the same area with more than 1,000 pieces of abalone. Residents of Tshwane can now relax after the cheetah that escaped from the Rietvlei Nature Reserve last week came to the realization that there was no place like home. The female cheetah was spotted yesterday morning trying to catch a blesbok at the reserve. She had made a safe return on her own. The city of Tshwane indicated that the animal may have got out through a hole dug by smaller animals under a fence, despite the fences being electrified and patrolled daily to prevent incidents of this kind. In international news, the head of Ethiopia's Orthodox Church has said that atrocities amounting to genocide are being committed in Tigray, where conflict broke out in November and thousands have already died. Abun Matthias, who has been head of the church since 2013, did not say who was responsible for this. In a video message that was posted on Twitter, he said that he wished the world would know the truth regarding what was happening in Tigray. Meanwhile, doctors in India have reported an incidence of a rare infection, the so-called black fungus, in COVID-19 patients that can lead to blindness. The dangerous fungal infection was diagnosed in a 25-year-old woman who had recovered from COVID-19, and the aggressive infection affects the nose, the eyes, and sometimes the brain and lungs. Doctors believe mucormycosis, which has an overall mortality rate of 50%, may be triggered by the use of steroids, a life-saving treatment for severe and critically ill COVID-19 patients. And next, how a tech-wise young shopper got carried away. Noah, a tech-wise 4-year-old from New York, loves SpongeBob a lot. In fact, he loves it so much that he decided to pop on Amazon for a spot of retail therapy. And Noah went onto his mom's Amazon account, unsupervised, purchased almost $2,620. That is almost 37,000 Rand worth of SpongeBob popsicles. Little did his mother, Jennifer Bryant, know that 51 cases of SpongeBob ice lollies, 918 of them to be exact, had been dispatched free of charge. And as adorable as this story is, Noah's mum, who is a social work student at New York University, simply couldn't afford this. She contacted Amazon, who initially told her that they wouldn't take back the ice lollies, leaving the social work student stuck with the bill. But fortunately, the retail giant has since found a solution, and thankfully the SpongeBob saga has a happy ending. A fundraiser that was set up to help the desperate mom to pay for the ice lollies has now already netted more than $14,000. That's almost 197,000 Rand, which amounts to contributions flowing in from across the globe. And one thing's for sure, Noah's going to enjoy his SpongeBob lollies for quite a while. That's where we leave it for this morning. Here's a final look at your sunrise pictures and your weather with Carl.
Well rested and ready for your weather, and thank you to all of the talented viewers that continue to share their beautiful sunrise vistas with us. It really starts our day off on the right note, and we started the morning off with a regular contributor, Andrew Harris from Belito, who shared this orange and red glowing skyline. Thank you so much for that. Jocelyn Tyler Naidu also shared this beautiful view of the ocean and the sun rising in the distance with us. Kicking off our 7 a.m. update, we had this glorious view of sun rays breaking through the clouds, casting a glow over the ocean from Carmini Chetty. And last but not least, Sasha Steenkamp, thanks for your picture. She also shared this beautiful view with us, showing off these orange and yellow hues as the sun rises. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm making them all my screensaver. Please do continue to share your sunrise photos with us on the Expresso Facebook page. We really love seeing your part of the country, and don't forget to share your location with us so we can give you a quick brief forecast of the day too. So while we enjoy experiencing a sunrise from your part of South Africa, we do also have some international viewers streaming in on YouTube, as well as the Africa channel in the US of A. And this morning we report on the weather from Naples, Florida. Now, Naples is largely a tourism-based city due to its proximity to the Everglades. Naples is also popular among eco-tourists. Naples experiences a tropical savanna climate. The beach on the coast of the Gulf of Mexico is more than 16 kilometers long and known for its pristine white sand. If you're in Naples today, you can prepare for a hot and humid day ahead, reaching a maximum of 32 degrees Celsius. Now, on to some weather news. Authorities in the Overberg region of the Western Cape are now concentrating their efforts on humanitarian relief for communities who were affected by the intense storms and heavy rainfall which several towns in the area experienced last week. The storm brought continued rainfall and battered some areas in the Cape Winelands and Overberg. At least 4 people died in 3 separate flood-related incidents at Bonnievale and near Riviersonne-End. A number of evacuations were also carried out in the area. The intense storm subsided over the weekend. Overberg District Municipality Fire Chief Reinhard Galdenes yesterday said things are normalizing in the Overberg. Water levels are dropping, but there are still road closures, especially secondary roads. And he said the focus was now provision of food parcels for the households that were affected by the storm. Our thoughts and prayers are with you in the Overberg. Now, moving along to the temperatures across the country. Polokwane, I always love starting with you, 8 to 24. Bombela, 12 to 27 for you today. 24 is the maximum. That is in Pretoria from a low of 8. Johannesburg, 8 to 21. Mahikeng, 7 to 26 for you. Klerksdorp, a maximum of 25 degrees Celsius from a low of 5. Kimberley, just 6 this morning, rising to 23. A minimum of 3 in Bloemfontein, rising to 23 as well. Richards Bay, 25 the max from a minimum of 16. Pietermaritzburg, 9 to 25 for you. Also 25 the max in Durban from a low of 16. Mthatha, 6 to 24. East London, 12, that's rising to 23 degrees Celsius. Cradock, 5 to 24. Gqeberha, 13 to 22. George, 12 to 20. The Mother City, 13 to 20 today. Worcester, 27 the max from a low of 7. Sutherland peaks at 21 from a low of 6. And Uppington wrapping up with you, as always, 9 to 28 degrees Celsius. Thanks a lot for all of your sunrise photos today. Please keep on sending them to the Expresso Facebook page. And no matter what your temperatures, I guarantee it's about to rise with some talented performers right here on Expresso.
Oh, yes, indeed, Mr. Carl Waste. If you thought the first performance was going to uplift your spirit, you're just in time. Here is Trevor Malgas with Sy Liefde is Wonderbaar. The stage is yours.
Maxima. Say lift. Say lift. Say lift. Say lift. Say lift. Can we say it again? Come on, say lift. Say lift. Next to see lift. From me, say
For days, Ryle has been trying to get out of the wrong side of this bed. How's it going, bud?
Absolutely terrible, G.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, bro.
No, honestly, man, there is no wrong side to this bed.
Yep, that's because it's a Rest Assured Ruby Queen base set. And if you keep your eyes on the Expresso show and our digital pages...
Answer an easy question, and from the 10th to the 14th of May, you stand a chance to win one of 5 of these incredible Rest Assured beds valued at 8,000 Rand.
Nice. Maybe it's that side.
Let's
Or this
find out.
side.
Let's
Maybe
find
it's this
out.
side.
No!
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Oh, and you guessed it right. You know what time it is. Welcome back to your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso. It is relationship time. Now, despite being aware of the wide array of physical and mental benefits of engaging regularly in physical activity, there is still a domination of physical activity across the world.
Inactivity, yeah.
Rather, inactivity, where people just aren't active. In addition, of course, developing the patterns for regular exercise can be challenging for so many of us, right?
Completely, man. And today we are asking, do you enjoy taking care of your physical health? Do you have a relationship with yourself? And our clinical psychologist, Asha Dulabe, is here today to help us discuss this. And we are taking your questions and comments via our Facebook page this morning. That's Expresso Morning Show. Asha, welcome back. Thanks for getting the memo. We all look fine in our grey.
Love to see it.
This is something that I can speak with some authority because I used to live physically before my back operation. I didn't realize how much of my mental processing happened through that meditative state that you go into and having that taken away from me has been a massive thing. There are so many messages telling us how important physical activity is, and we know this. Every expert is on Instagram, TikTok, sleep doctors with 1 million followers. Clearly we're aware, yet we are not doing it. Why do you think our attitude towards physical health has been on the downward, the slide? Why aren't we out there doing this?
Well, Graham, I think now we are in the information age, the digital age, and I think that, you know, we are living a far more sedentary life. So we are not moving enough. We are more sitting still on our devices. Everything's available online. And we're not moving. I mean, even our apps are now needing to tell us when to move, when to drink water. So we need to actually just go back to the basics of, in order to be healthy, we need to move. It's as simple as that. But it is challenging for many people to get moving because it's that all or nothing approach. It's all that attitude of no pain, no gain that sometimes limits us. It's the most natural, inherent stance within us just to move our bodies.
It's what we were designed to do.
Absolutely.
And Asha, we hear all about it all the time, right? And I think that we're all encouraged to get out there and get moving. But maybe it's about drilling down what those benefits are. If you can distill for us, really, from a mind-body connection and wellness perspective, what are the benefits of being active?
So firstly, I think that when you are active, you have a raised self-esteem and a raised self-confidence.
Sure.
You have a much better body image. Obviously, there's benefits of sleeping better. Your mood is far better. You have more greater focus, more concentration. And of course, you decrease your chances of high blood pressure, cardiovascular disease. So it's a multitude of benefits, both mind and body, and you cannot separate the two. It goes hand in hand.
I watched the most amazing TED Talk the other day on the relationship between physical activity and the mental health in terms of the actual physical structure of the brain. And you need that dopamine that comes from physical exercise to keep your brain healthy. And if you don't do it, you're going to fall short. So all of this being said, what do we do? What's that first step for someone who wants to make that change? What should they be telling themselves? How do we bridge that gap now and actually become more active?
Well, to become more active, we need to start moving. In order to be healthy, we need to move. But it really starts with the very small steps. You know, just whether you can take the stairs instead of taking the lift. And also just getting into your why. Why is it that you actually want to exercise? What is your vision? What is it? Because it's about how are we associating exercise with? Is it with diet? Because very often we have this diet culture that is a catalyst to dismantling the joy of movement. We exercise just merely to lose weight or for our physical appearance. But like I said earlier on, there are so many benefits.
Yeah.
And when it comes to mental illness, of course, it decreases depression and anxiety, which we are all facing to some degree at this point.
And I like that you mentioned that start small. Start with, for example, instead of taking the lift, take the stairs. It's not about watching Raul Demone's Instagram and seeing him climb up the highest peak of mountains and wanting to do that, because that can be intimidating, but try and make those changes and adjustments. Get your questions through to us on our Facebook, Expresso Morning Show, SABC3. Asha is here. She'll be answering some of those questions about mobility and getting active.
Let's do it. Let's do it right now. Let's get active. You can get active right this second, in fact.
Correct, boys. Feel on top of the world right after you wake up by doing an easy yet effective stretch routine. Now, stretching in the morning can help to relieve tense muscles, make you feel more relaxed and ease away, and it can ease away any aches and pains you may have. And this morning, fitness enthusiast Andrew is back and he's joining us in studio to take us through a few power stretches before you start your day. Because if you see this man is never in a bad mood. He's always hyped up. He's your hype person. So we want to know how you start your day with a morning stretch, and maybe that will help us to get into the mood and set the tone for the rest of the day and the week.
Cool. Thank you, Jamie. So what I usually do is, like any other person, wake up and just like yawn. Make like you're yawning.
Oh, I've never yawned like this. Okay, but we learn. Okay,
yeah,
like that.
Okay, and then obviously I do my neck rotation, hip rotation from side to side.
We're going to do some neck rotation.
Yeah, neck rotation for about 10 to 15 seconds each segment, and then from there, go down to shoulders, do like a shoulder roll backwards, yeah? Nice and easy.
And set the tone for us here. Are you playing music? Are you just... Because you obviously just woke up.
Yeah, so the music's in my head.
The music is in your head.
So I don't want to go put the music on, then jump back into bed. You know what I mean? So shoulder roll forward again.
And what music is playing in your head right now?
Like calming music. Obviously, you just woke up. You don't want to, like, the best song of Amapiano, you know? So you want something soothing.
For sure.
Then obviously, from your arm, take your left arm, just move it across your chest, okay? Yeah?
Get a nice...
Feel it nicely in the shoulder there, okay? Then nice and easy, take that same arm, bring it back to the tuck, yeah? And then you feel it slightly in your tricep and in your back, yeah? So whatever you do to the left side, make sure you do to the right, okay?
Got it.
Right arm
pull
across
over
the chest,
the arm, the other side as well, and then just feel that nice stretch.
Keep it there.
And we're speaking about this, it's so important for us just to set the tone for the day. You feel calm, you feel present, you feel like you're ready for the day. So definitely a great benefit of stretching before you start the day.
Yeah, it makes you feel good, so I think it's working, yeah?
Yeah, definitely, for sure. Like they said, if you're sitting on the bed, don't make eye contact. So Andrew, don't look at me like that in my eyes. It's just awkward. I'm just like,
too late.
Too late. Too late.
There we go. And then obviously, once I've done with the upper body, I usually jump out of bed and then go into my...
Okay, so we got out of bed now. We stood up, we stretched the top part of our body. Let's focus a bit of the core, because I think that's also very important to set the tone for the day. Is there anything that you could do for the core to help us activate that?
It's basically what I do is I go obviously down to my to the hip. So we do like legs apart. and then slight hip rotation, nice and easy. You know, hip rotation, just once or twice, maybe a couple of times.
For
you know,
sure.
this is a fan favorite. This is a fan favorite.
Definitely, because everybody in studio is screaming for you. So this is definitely a favorite for everybody.
You know, because then you feel it nicely in your glutes, you feel it in your hamstrings, you feel it in basically the top half of your legs, yeah? Feel it nicely, and then from there, make use of the bed. So you can put your right foot on the bed and just reach for your toe.
You clearly don't live with your mother. She'd be like, Skuna, Opikoi, Fatadaf.
At least
anyway,
not white
this
linen.
is not Patricia's house, so I'm going to put my shoes on the bed. Ooh,
just hold your toe. There you go. You feel it nicely in the hamstring, yeah?
In the hamstring, is that where I should be feeling it? Because I feel like a tight little pull over here.
That's perfect. That's exactly where you should be feeling it.
Oh, yeah.
Lovely, right? It's amazing.
And this is a great way if you need to have some quiet time, just to reflect and, again, set the tone. What you said, what you do on the left, we do on the right.
Exactly.
Other leg
There you
forward.
go. Reach for your toe.
And listen to this, Mzansi, you have no excuses. All you need is your bed. Everyone has a bed.
Yeah.
So you should be following along with us right now.
There you go.
And touch your toes.
Yeah, feel the nice sensation at the back of your leg there. Can you feel it's a nice burn?
Definitely.
Yeah?
Well, we're definitely setting the tone with this one. Andrew is going to be back with another workout. Also, you don't need anything. You just need your bed and you bring the gears, and that is how you're going to start your day. But let us know what you thought of that workout. Expresso Morning Show, SABC3. We'll see you after this.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso as we continue our relationship chat, and it's a relationship with ourselves, with our physical well-being.
Yep, we're talking relationships. Yes, certainly indeed, relationship we have with ourselves. Today we're asking, do you enjoy taking care of your physical health? Do you enjoy it? Do you do it? We're back with clinical psychologist Asha Dulab to unpack this topic. So do weigh in with your questions or any of your comments that you might have on our Facebook page, Expresso Morning Show, SABC3. Asha. So it continues. And of course, so many comments have been flowing in as well on our social media. It's an interesting conversation to have with ourselves, right?
Yeah, and it can often be quite a negative one. Maybe it stems from like a bad self-image where it's like, okay, I need to get in shape because I hate the way that I look. Yeah. And it becomes this beast that you've got to slay every day. Yet it could be the best part of your day. It could be that little success when everything else is falling apart around you. Yeah, you did 1 more kilometer. You did 1 more step even. Why is it important for us to have a positive attitude around our physical well-being and exercise?
Well, a positive attitude is a good start. Anything that when we think positively, we'll feel better about it, and our behavior will transcend in taking action on a level that you feel excited about. I think, Tabiso, you speak about the joy. It is so important to enjoy the activity that you do, because not every activity will fit every individual. So, we need to connect with what we really, really enjoy. I think it's so important to tap into our intrinsic motivation, which sometimes is very hard. And then in that regard, draw in a friend or a partner to train with you, to help you with that motivation. Because when you do have poor body image, it's very hard to want to get out there and go and train.
Do stuff.
And also connect with your fitness story. Have you had a fitness trauma? What is your past dictating now about your current need to train or to get fit? And why are you exercising? The why is quite important. And once you understand your fitness story, you'll be able to identify what is it that motivates me to exercise, because that will give you your why. And the importance is that we need to actually focus more on the benefits, both mentally and physically, that we gain from it, the clarity, the creative energy that flows from exercise, the clear mind. I mean, you know, if you go for a run, everyone speaks about this mental clarity that they get, and that's phenomenal.
It can put you in the zone. It really can. Yeah.
Here's the thing, and I don't want you guys sitting here and thinking that I'm making excuses here, all right? But consistency...
This is a judgment-free space.
Thank you for that.
Okay.
Consistency is important. It's key when it comes to this sort of thing. You know, you can't go, okay, today I'm getting out there and being active for this week, and then next week don't do it until next year.
Yeah.
But it's difficult when you have a hectic schedule, you're working, or you've got children and all of that. How do you bring that into... Yes, you know, us with children. How do you actually build that consistency in a way that also doesn't make you then also beat yourself up when you're not able to go 1 extra kilometer?
Consistency is very important, but like you say, we are busy. So I think just be kind to yourself. You know, do your very best that you can, but when you don't get to it, don't give up. Just start as soon as you can thereafter. I think many people start, they give up because they've missed a day or two, and then it's like they throw in the towel. But it's really important to stay focused and to, again, it links into your script and your story as to why you're doing it. And we are moving. I mean, just earlier on you were dancing. That is movement. So also realize that the little that you do is a lot. You know, and just keep that consistency daily. Establish a routine. You know, once we can create a habit of doing something, it completely becomes unconscious. You don't even think about it, and then it fits into a beautiful routine in your day. So that's quite important.
It becomes a routine. You look at the journey that, say, for instance, Jamie's been on, the different person that she is now and how that feeds off. So find that person who inspires you in that space. Feeding off what you mentioned a moment ago, the trauma, our physical trauma, an event. The human condition to wait until it's too late before we start looking after ourselves. If you've had a scare, if something has happened to you that's now said, okay, I need to actually start taking care of my health, whether it's cholesterol, whatever it may be, how should people approach that when there's that deeper emotional relevance?
So there we have a little bit of fear that sets in. You know, if you are not well physically, mentally, you feel that if I'm going to exercise, I may just cause more harm to my illness or my physical disability. But it's exactly what we are needing to feel better and to feel healthy is to exercise. So listen to your body. There are great professionals that can assist and guide you as to how you can move. Just basic stretching, I mean, even if it means touching your toes, does wonders. Yeah. I mean, if you move this one hand for a whole month, it's definitely going to strengthen. Yeah. So sometimes the one body part that we can't exercise due to the pain that we're experiencing for some injury, try and nurture other areas of your body to exercise.
And when in doubt, just dance, man.
Well, just dance. You can dance your way into that fitness, that overall wellness. But what I like is that it's a personal journey, and what I like about that is that it's not a competition. Because I think
it's an invitation.
It's an invitation, not a competition. Because as soon as you start seeing it as a competition and a challenge, then you don't want to do it.
Look, it's vital though when you're going in the kitchen, the most arduous physical activity, that you do a good stretch.
It's quite important to do a good stretch. Thank you for... That's why we trust the experts. Wow. So we know what you're thinking. Okay, you know, I mean, who has time to spend long periods of time in the kitchen? I mean, that's why we're crushing hard on these quick and easy weeknight winter recipes. And we're talking about crispy sweet potato and chicken schnitzels. I said sweet potato schnitzel. I did really say that. Now, neither of which will keep you busy for more than 30 minutes. Now, earlier, I'm sure you saw Chef Clem, that I was spooning with Graham. But now I get to spoon with you in a different way.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
I just wanted to give you that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I know. That's not awkward at all.
Especially because
anyway.
Yes. The whole thing today, no eye contact.
Eye contact.
When you gave
so
me the
hard
spoon,
right now.
You looked away.
That's it. You have to make eye contact when you've got recipes from Chef Clem, and I think you're going to make eye contact with some of these incredible Woolworths offerings that make it so simple to create a dish that looks and tastes amazing and is also healthy.
It really is, and the best thing is, I mean, you don't want to be in the kitchen forever, but you want amazing results, and this is how you do it. So we've got the traditional chicken schnitzel.
Yes.
I mean, people are obsessed with it. Now I need people to start trying.
I am obsessed.
It is. It's amazing. Sweet potato schnitzel, and this is so delicious.
I only heard about this today. And I'm gonna get this today.
You're gonna get it. So
Yeah.
what I'm gonna ask you to do is, can you pop that in the air fryer for me?
Oh, yes.
Because the air fryer brings out, like, the crispiness on the schnitzel is real.
You know this
It
is my baby, eh?
It is. I swear by air fryer. If you don't have an air fryer, just get one.
I'm just letting you know, like this, an air fryer, it's quick, it's easy, it's simple. It's like the best way to cook food very, very fast.
Yes.
And I mean, if you've got kids at home and they're running around, they're like, oh, I'm hungry. Get an air fryer. I'm just telling you.
Get an air fryer.
Get an air fryer. It works. Okay, let's do this.
So it also comes to the beautiful sauce, which we're going to use at the end.
Oh, we have
so you
to,
can
eh?
just pop those in the air fryer for me.
Incredible.
Then I will get cracking on the traditional chicken schnitzels. These are going to go in the oven, but they can also just be made in the air fryer as well.
All right, beautiful. I wish I had tongs. Do you mind if I use my hands, chef?
You can. We've all washed our hands.
Good, that's it. We are all clean and ready to go and ready to rumble. And I love, you know what the key of the air fryer is, like finding the spaces for everything, which is great, because then you can really sort of start getting sexy with it. And
you get sexy with your schnitzel?
I get, come on now.
All right.
This is the way I roll.
That's the way you go. Okay. Air fryer's doing its thing. This is going to go into the oven, okay? So basically we've kind of like, I would say it's Monday, so go a bit of a meat-free option.
Right.
This is delicious. If you're looking for a veggie option for schnitzel, I'm not lying to you. It is so, so good. Okay, so we're going to do both just for the demonstration today.
Let's do it. Okay,
then,
great.
Let's go talk about mash. Have you had...
I've never had, is this mash, pre-made mash?
It's potatoes and it's butter. There's no anything else in there. And it is magic. It's lump-free guaranteed because you're not sitting there mashing anything. It goes into the pot. What I do is I add a little bit of milk and I add a clove of garlic to infuse that milk with garlic flavor. And then you just, that's it. There we go. Because we know schnitzels and mash go so well together.
They do.
Right? So next thing, green beans. I love green beans. But when I was younger, I went to this one preschool. I won't say your name. They used to boil the living goodness.
I know what you want to say. Yep, okay.
But, okay, so you
out of it, all right?
Here's a quick and easy way. So, water,
Blanching.
a little bit of salt in there, okay? We can add a bit of butter.
Are you adding butter to your blanching water?
Yes, right.
Okay, now I'm excited.
This is going to happen. So, like I said, salt is already in there, plus the butter's got a bit of salt in there. You're going to add your green beans. What's going to happen is they're going to start blanching in the water, and the water's going to evaporate. But by the time the water evaporates, you've got that beautiful butter at the bottom. You're going to start browning your beans in that beautiful butter. It's going to be so delicious.
This is incredible. And I've never ever seen that sort of, like the butter getting into the blanching liquid as well. But how long would that take to blanch?
Here's the thing, we just spoke about it now. So that preschool,
yes.
I think their thing was, once there's no more color, we're done. What you want to do is, you want to still have a bit of crunch, a bit of snap to it, but you can do, you pick it up with your finger, with tongs, so give it a slight squeeze. If it starts to give, you're done. You're done.
Yes.
Don't overcook it. Then, once that water's gone and the butter's there, you add your sage. We're being a little fancy.
You are being very fancy.
So the sage will give it a bit of flavor.
Some people call it sage.
Sage?
Sage.
Sage.
Oh.
Like a little bit of sage goes into your green beans, and that's it. So, what I also love is like sauces.
Yes.
We've got a whole shelf in our fridge just for sauces.
Are you saying that you're a saucy guy?
I'm a saucy guy.
That's cool.
And in our cupboard as well, just like boom, sauces.
Right.
So when you come out with a beautiful fresh mushroom sauce and a fresh roasted vegetable sauce, where normally schnitzels, like you want to serve something with something a bit saucy.
Correct.
Don't go and make a bechamel, make a mushroom sauce, roast vegetable sauce. These are delicious. These are absolutely amazing. So we're going to plate one up now.
But I like what we've got here. We've got air fry, blanch.
Yes.
Pre-made mashed potato, gorgeous, unctuous, beautiful.
Yes.
Sauces, pre-made. I don't see us spending a long time here.
No.
I feel like you need to create a conversation that is a little shorter when you get this recipe, because it's available to you at woolworths.co.za, but think about, you can't have a long conversation in the kitchen with your significant other or anybody else with such a quick recipe. You have to think about something and get straight to the point. You know what I'm saying? Just quickly, you can't sit in the kitchen chatting about Bitcoin.
No.
When you're doing this recipe,
But
you have to be faster.
Bitcoin's not dinner conversation.
That's correct. You have to do something faster. Almost like, hey, did you see the latest episode of, you know, so-and-so? And then you have a quick chat about one character, then you move on.
You move on. Okay. Mash down.
Okay, mash.
Okay. I'm going to get... Okay, please try.
Can I?
It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing.
I'm ready.
You're going to love it. Okay, here we go. I'm going to plate that up for you. Do you want mushroom sauce or would you like a roast vegetable sauce?
I want you to surprise me. Give me something that really pops.
Okay.
On it. You're going to go mushroom. I knew it. I'm ready.
It's got like
you went for mushroom because Clem's a fun guy. Clearly.
You
right?
are... I was going to pull a Jenny Morris and I was going to feed you, but okay.
Okay, I was hoping that you would. But
Okay.
I mean, it's okay.
I'll do it.
Are you going to feed me?
It's Monday.
Oh.
It's Monday. Get a little bit of...
This is why we told you to stretch before.
But I'm not going to make eye contact.
Okay. Are you sure?
I'm not making eye contact.
Are you sure? You can make eye contact.
No, you do not play music. No. Jenny Morris? Yeah.
I'm just letting you know right
Please
now.
don't do that. Please don't lean. Stand up straight.
I'm going to know.
Make your eyes right.
I wish. You know what? If you're going to make eye contact with one place, make that place woolworths.co.za. That was gorgeous. It was amazing. And it was unctuous. You know what? I want Graham to also feel what I just felt. Can you do the same for Graham? Turn around. Oh, here he is. Oh, hi.
Are you wearing... I didn't even hear you coming. Oh, goodness.
I was ready for the Graham moment. Could we get music for this one,
No.
please? Yes, we can. Let's get music for this one. I'm ready. Okay.
No
Graham,
eye contact.
wait for the music. It's happening now. Oh. This is why. Just remember.
No, go, just eat that.
Yes, eye contact, eye contact. Oh my goodness. Right, right. Say the word, say the word.
I'm not being unctuous here.
Yes!
It's the best I've ever had.
Oh.
That is the best schnitzel that I've ever eaten.
Honestly,
as
I've
presented by
a
another.
balance. In bed with Graham, in kitchen with Clem. So many options. One option for you, woolworths.co.za.
Is it steamy in here or is that just...
A few more minutes of Feel Good coming your way. Welcome back to it, your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso. We're live on S3. Now, it's a Monday morning. You know what we do on Mondays. We talk relationships. Today, we're asking, do you enjoy taking care of your physical health? It's something we should all enjoy, let's be honest. We're back with clinical psychologist Asha Dulab to unpack this topic, and we've asked you to weigh in with your comments as well as your questions on our Facebook page.
Hopefully we'll get onto those in just a moment, but keeping with the theme of the day, this is always terrifying for me because every expert that comes on to the show says you need 7 to 8 hours of sleep
or 9,
night, or 9 or 12 or whatever dreamland you live in. And in our reality, with kids at home, with this job, it's just not going to happen. But we need good sleep, and often if you're struggling to sleep, I find if I'm exhausted from exercise, or fulfilled from exercise is maybe a better term, I sleep so much better.
Absolutely, it goes hand in hand. The more active you are in the day, you actually sleep far better at night.
Wow. I think you release a lot of that, like tension, that kind of energy. It allows you to sleep, man.
I suppose it's like the kids, right? Like if you look at Jack, for example, if he's been running around for a couple of hours, when he does sleep, he really does sleep like a baby.
No, he never sleeps. He never sleeps.
But a lot of people might think that they sleep a lot and that, you know, their sleeping pattern is a bit off. What is the importance of making sure that that is regulated and that is managed? What happens if we don't get enough good sleep?
We all know the feeling of not sleeping well. Our moods are affected. We're irritable. We don't feel energized in the day. We can't really focus. We don't even feel like exercising. If you've had a bad day of sleep, you can't really get to the gym or go for that run. But even if you do actually push yourself and do that, you'll actually feel much better.
Yeah, for sure.
And I mean, sleep also plays a role with our weight management. It releases certain chemicals that also help us with our weight. So it's incredibly important. We heard earlier from the doctor in sleep of how important it is to get good quality sleep. And Graham, there is no magic number, I think, when it comes to sleep. It's really about saying, waking up in the morning and saying, I've actually had a good sleep. Whether that is 5 hours, 6 hours, or 4 hours, everybody's body, you know, we all have a different constitution, and what we are needing to feel rested is different. So yeah, we just need to...
Okay, well then maybe let's get practical for a second, and how do we approach this? If we are going to be having irregular sleep patterns and this is becoming a bit of a pressure point for us, mentally, how do we focus on this? What do we need to do to achieve that kind of healthy balance from a mental perspective? How should we approach it, do you think?
I think that we need to establish a good association with the place that we sleep. I mean, so often many of us go to bed, lying in bed thinking, oh, I'm not going to sleep tonight, you know, because the night before we haven't slept. And in that space, you're not going to sleep. So look at what is your emotion associated with sleeping. Does it cause anxiety? Are you worried about the insomnia? Obviously, a good sleep ritual, a routine is important. You know, there's a lot of research that speaks about not having a heavy meal before going to bed, creating an atmosphere in the bedroom where there's more dim lights. Obviously...
it's not that kind of relationship chat, Asha. Come on, man.
But really just connecting with yourself and, you know, use your meditation, your breath work, your breathing to really calm down. It's a busy mind that prevents us from sleeping.
Something you always say, Asha, is intention. You're always going on about intention. And I think what I'm picking up from this is that we've got to be more intentional about the importance that exercise, movement, good sleep, and all of that plays in our lives, that when we do that, we are better people across all areas of our lives, right?
Absolutely. You're spot on.
I love it.
I think an opportunity for all of us to maybe just take a moment, just even if you have to write a list of those things that make you feel good, that make you, feel fun about exercising, not because you need to lose the weight, but because it makes you feel awesome. And also, what constitutes a good night's rest for you? What are those things? Is it reading a book? Just take stock. You know yourself better than anyone else. Asha, are you going to exercise today? What are you going to...
I've already exercised.
Oh, wow. What time are you like team 5 a.m.?
I'm an early bird. I get up early to exercise.
What do you do for exercise?
A walk or some yoga. stretches. That's the best.
Do you do
thing.
stretches like Jamie on the bed? Like,
I start off in the bed and I get up and I get onto the floor.
See, I wake up on the floor of my baby's room next to the cot and I throw water in my face. No, absolutely so interesting. Thanks. I know we've drifted into sleep speciality, which is not your speciality, but you've given us
psyche.
Yeah, man. This has really opened my eyes, and I think there's an opportunity for all of us to just have a better relationship with ourselves. It starts with you. So do that. Take stock of what really works for you and start that better relationship with yourself, your physical self, today.
What time is it? It's time to work out again. Now, whether you are stretching in the morning or in the evening or doing both, stretching is so important to your overall health. And fitness enthusiast Andrew is back and he's still with us, and he's going to be taking us through a workout this time to set the pace for the rest of the day. So earlier on, Andrew, you were taking us through stretching, you know, calm space. But if people follow you on social media, they know that you are the hype person. I'm a piano is always in the background. We got out of bed now. What do we do next?
Cool. So we're out of bed. Obviously, earlier I couldn't put on the song because I was still keeping it cool, keeping it calm.
Just woke up,
but now,
for day.
now I'm out of bed, so I just quickly rushed to, So now now it's time. Okay, so now we're gonna do, obviously this is an unconventional way of working out. So we're gonna use the bed and see what we can do, okay? So we're gonna start with a push-up, yeah? Get in the push-up position.
Perfect. And you get, again, if you don't have a bed, you have a chair at home. Yeah. You can use any equipment that you do have at home.
Push-up position, and then you do slight push-ups, yeah?
Push it down.
There you go.
But remember, I'm a piano playing, so it's like,
but you don't want to exhaust yourself at the same time. Yeah, but you keep going, It's all about quality and not about quantity. Yeah?
Engaging that core, just pushing down.
Engaging the core, you know the drill. Keep going. And then after you do like for a couple of reps, 10 maybe to 15, then you should be good, okay?
For sure that arms are working. Yeah. We are ready to take on the day.
Cool. Then we turn it around. We're gonna do some dips, okay? Using the bed, hands on the bed, okay? Push your body a bit outward.
Tricep dips.
Yeah? Okay? And then you dip, yeah?
Be low.
Very low. Try and stay as close to the bed as possible, yeah?
Got it.
There we go. So now you're feeling it in your tricep, now you're feeling it in your arms. Yeah, so now your muscles are activated.
Definitely feeling the burn. I feel like I need to get back into bed, but we're working out. We're moving.
Cool. Then we change it up. So now that was upper body, so let's take it down to lower body. So we're gonna use the bed to squat, okay? And make your bed the focal point as where you're getting up, okay?
So obviously depending on the height of your bed would depend on how low you would squat. If you have a nice and high bed, you're good. That means you're not going down too low.
Yeah.
If you have a low bed, you're getting a deep squat. So.
But again, like you mentioned, if your bed is quite high, you can always use a chair, okay?
Yeah.
But the aim,
or not.
Or the bed. Or the bed, yeah. So the aim is obviously not to sit on the bed, but like just touch the bed and then come up, yeah? Touch the bed, come up.
Still remember to squeeze,
touch the
activate.
Bed. There we go, come up. Touch the bed. You can feel in your legs, eh, Jamie?
For sure.
Feel in your legs. Touch the bed, come up. Cool. Then now we change it up some more.
Because the bed was so high, so I didn't feel it too much, but we're good, we keep it going.
Cool. So now we're gonna add another one. We're gonna do mountain climbers, yeah? So we still hang on to the bed, and then from this position, my piano is still playing.
I'm just trying to like take this all in. You wake out of bed and you say, you know what, today I'm gonna do a mountain climber. Who are you though?
Yeah.
Who are you? Okay.
My piano still playing in the background. Yeah, so you're still vibing.
And a mountain climber, go, we go.
Cool. There we go. Hey. Mountain climbers. And then now you're still activating your core, yeah?
For sure.
And you're still feeling it in your legs, yeah? If you want to change it up a bit, also do knee to elbow, side to side. Yeah? Knee to elbow, side to side. You feeling that, Jamie?
Definitely.
Feeling that? Yeah?
This is how you start your day every single day. I understand now why you always smiling.
This is nice, eh? Tell me, how does that feel?
Feels good. No, Andrew, you are the man that you are. Stretching in the morning is so important, but also just working out, it again sets the pace for the rest of the day. Your heart is racing, you feel energized. The piano is playing in the background, so you know that you're going to start your day just right. Yeah. Any final words, any final tips you want to leave us with for this Monday?
I mean, it's all about making sure you're stretching your whole body, making sure you're activating the correct muscles, and you're good to go.
There you have it, Mr. Andrew. Mr. Drew coming through with all those top tips for us to get good quality sleep, but also good exercise in the morning. And I think often exercise like this, you need good music. And remember, Trevor Malgas is still with us to elevate your feel-good here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
For days, Ryle has been trying to get out of the wrong side of this bed. How's it going, bud?
Absolutely terrible, G.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, bro.
No, honestly, man, there is no wrong side to this bed.
Yep, that's because it's a Rest Assured Ruby Queen base set. And if you keep your eyes on the Expresso show and our digital pages...
Answer an easy question, and from the 10th to the 14th of May, you stand a chance to win one of 5 of these incredible Rest Assured beds valued at 8,000 Rand.
Nice. Maybe it's that side.
Let's
Or this
find out.
side.
Let's
Maybe
find
it's
out.
this side.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back to Feel Good Breakfast Show, and we need to wrap things up in a beautiful way. I want you to get uplifted, inspired by this man over here, Trevor Malgas. And I mean, we can't thank this guy enough for giving us the inspiration we require on a Monday. He's all the way from Joburg. He came down to Cape Town. I know he wants to live here now because he loves us so much. And we will save the best for last, as Trevor will be performing his first official single. It's called Jesus Red My. This song was released just last month, and Trevor is about to perform it just for you. Get inspired and enjoy and open up with S3. It's Trevor Malgas.
kan bid. Ja. Jesus red. Jesus red mij. Bij die kruis, oh, Jezus. Jezus red. Jezus red mij. En hij maakt mij vrij, oh ja. Jezus red. Jezus red mij. Bij die kruis. Oh, Jezus red mij, oh. Jezus red. Jezus red mij, oh. En hij maakt mij vrij, oh ja. Jezus red. Net daar op Golgotha redt Jezus mij. Say oh, op Golgotha. Golgotha, oh, op Golgotha. Hier is zijn leven voor mij. Golgotha.
Here's to family favorites and recipes passed from mothers to daughters. Made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.
Dankie voor die bloed, ja. En ons kom en ons zijn voeten nou, ja. Jezus red mij, dankie Jezus. En hij maakt mij vrij, daar bij die kruis. Zij bij die kruis. Lê hy sy lewe neer. Stort hy sy bloed vir my. Verwyder hy al my seer. Betoon hy liefde aan my. Daar is bevryding vir my. Daar is hoop vir my. Dit is volbring.
You're reading it straight down. And now, Jimmy.